delivery programs. This is a one-time order. You can try it and see for yourself how well this works. So again, the number to call is 1-800-467-0301. I'll give it to you one more time. It's 1-800-467-0301. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks again to our sponsor, Dr. Newton's Naturals. You can visit them online anytime at drnewtons.com for all of your supplement needs. And be sure to join us again next week for another great show. I'm Chris McKay. Have a great day, everybody.
The preceding was paid for by Two Lights Media. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 34 degrees, Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh police continue to investigate after a man was found shot in Homewood Saturday night. Happened around 8:40. Police say a man was shot in the buttocks near Idlewild Avenue. That's near Frankstown Avenue. The alleged suspect ran away on foot towards Felicia Way. The man who was shot was taken to the hospital. Right now, no word on his condition. A man is dead after he was struck by a vehicle in Westmoreland County. That happened Saturday morning around 6:30 in the 800 block of Rostraver Road in Rostraver Township. Now, the man who was struck, 52-year-old Darren Snyder of Monessen, died at the scene. Driver of the vehicle that struck Snyder remained on the scene and was cooperating with investigators. One person has died, 6 others hurt in a shooting incident at Lincoln University. The shooting happened on Saturday night around in the 1500 block of Baltimore Pike. That's near the school's football field. It is homecoming weekend for the university, which is located an hour west of Philadelphia. The victims were transported to the hospital. As mentioned, one person later died. Police in that area are investigating and have not released any information about a possible suspect. KDK Radio News Time is 7:03. We have the AccuWeather forecast coming up next.
Experience, leadership, equity, and integrity represent how Sheriff Kevin Krause effectively serves Allegheny County. Paul Martino here, supporting the re-election of Allegheny County Sheriff Kevin Krause. Kevin's proven commitment to public safety, his exemplary law enforcement principles, and his decades of local law enforcement service are key reasons to re-elect him as sheriff.
I'm Sheriff Kevin Krause. I'd be honored to earn your vote on November 4th.
Paid for by friends of Kevin Krause for sheriff.
Get ready to roll. Bocce House of Pittsburgh officially open and all month long. It's open play. That means free play on the bocce courts. Come experience Pittsburgh's newest social destination, featuring memberships, a luxury cigar lounge, and league play for all skill levels. So grab some friends, enjoy delicious food, and pour yourself a drink at our self-pour bar system. The Bocce House of Pittsburgh, where good food, great drinks, and even better company meet on the court. So visit theboccehouse.com for all the details.
What does living your best nonstop life mean to you? Cheering on your team at that big game? A music festival with friends? A family vacation? Or maybe a vacation from your family? Live your best nonstop life with low fares and nonstop flights only at Allegiant.com.
Non-stop flights from Pittsburgh to Sarasota Bradenton, one way for as low as $57. Must be purchased by 12/3/2025 for travel between 10/28/2025 and 5/17/2026. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine much of the time on the way up to a high of 58, followed by a generally clear sky tonight and a low of 37. Tomorrow looks rather similar with sunshine for much of the time and a high again reaching 58 before it turns a bit cooler on Tuesday, but still generally sunny with a high of 55. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get greened. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, you know how this thing works. 866-391-1020. That's the path to get all of your gardening questions answered and fall planning tips and tricks. Doug Oster, DougOster.com. The Organic Gardener is on the air. And we always give you an opportunity to win a gift certificate from Sorgels. No better place to be for the fall season out in Wexford if you're the 10th caller at 412-922-1020. So in your business, a grow light to keep plants warm is very important. Well, listen, he's going to help me keep growing into a mature senior citizen. My man, the one and only Doug Oster, because, I live in the basement, always working from the home studio, where my Tootsies get cold at night, brought me something I've always wanted to have, and I haven't had one since my mother and dad. I would actually use theirs from time to time when I would go visit them. I have a heated sunbeam blanket. This is like Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all wrapped up into one. Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. We've talked about it for, I think, 2 years. And
I'm cheap.
Well, I'm cheap, too. In fact, mine came as a gift from my son, and I can't believe I lasted this long without one. I mean, I couldn't go back now.
My feet literally freeze at night, and my furnace is on. I don't know what it is.
Well, because the way our house is set up, I've got to have my thermostat at 63.
Because your wife's not a big fan of it.
Exactly.
I get it.
She's like, I'm lucky to have it up to 63, so I need that little blanket. And I'm telling you, you put your little Tootsies in that, you'd just be like a little baby curled up in swaddling cloth.
I can't wait. Hey, before we get to gardening, just some entertainment, urban legend news. June Lockhart has passed away. And you were the first person I thought of when I saw that. 100 years of age.
Well, it's just, I saw it yesterday, and I asked Rob before we came on, did he know her more from Lassie or Lost in Space? And he's from my same kind of, age group, and it's like, Lost in Space. I mean, that was just...
It was Angela Cartwright. That's why I watched Lost in Space. But that thing was really so far ahead of its time.
Only 3 seasons. But, yeah, June Lockhart, and she's just known as this wonderful person also. She had all that TV work, but she was just... Everybody who worked with her, when talking now, they just loved her, and she was an example for them as a professional and as a good person. So,
well, you and I have talked about this many times because we're a product of that era, the sitcoms, and how they would just crank them out, work, and they would work long hours, and they're not getting the residual checks that a lot of these performers are getting today. But she had an incredible body of work, and she truly is considered, I believe, a television mainstream icon.
There's really a funny picture. You start looking at the pictures. That she was just goofing around in that. For those who don't know, Lost in Space was a science fiction show, and they wore this like aluminum foil suit in the first season, and there are these color photos where she's just fooling around and making funny faces, and it just kind of it goes to show her lightheartedness. And I remember stories from Angela Cartwright and Billy Mooney about. She was like she's kind of like a second mother on the set,
right?
And trying to navigate all that, navigate stardom, and because it was a huge show in its era. So rest in peace, June. She was amazing.
Yeah. Last thing, that documentary, Nothing Is Lost. Ben Stiller, Apple TV, had been talking about it, about his late parents who were such a big part of my life, Ed Sullivan Show. But here's the thing I thought of you. The marquee, they were out in front taking a picture. They were on the Ed Sullivan Show, and they were on the same show with the Rolling Stones. Pretty cool stuff.
Man, Still and Mira were on like every...
Mike Douglas show.
Well, they were on Ed Sullivan Show. He loved them every 4 to 6 weeks.
36 times.
And the pressure that she felt coming up with a new sketch every time. And what's kind of funny was that the hook was that she was Irish Catholic and he was Jewish,
right.
And that he didn't look like the guy that should be married to Ann Mira. I mean, he was kind of short and like the guy that didn't get invited to the party.
Like all of us.
Again, a lot of people don't know who Still and Mira are. They know
Ben.
And they know the father from
King of Queens and Seinfeld.
But they don't know that golden era of that
They were great.
Comedy team. They were great.
And, I got to be honest with you. I always loved Ann Stiller for whatever reason. I did Archie's Place. Just loved her. She was a great dramatic actress. But she was beautiful.
There's a movie with Hal Linden, and it's called The Other Woman, and it's an interesting premise. He's like in his 50s, and he's either married to or dating this younger woman, and they have nothing in common. When they start talking about Gene Simmons, he's talking about the actress, and she's talking about the bass player from Kiss, and Hal Linden falls in love with Ann Mira, and the other woman is an older woman. It's a really cool movie.
Oh, Hal Linden of Barney Miller, and Gene Simmons in Spartacus, and the other, obviously, the bass guitarist with Kiss.
All right,
good stuff.
Off to gardening. Sorry for all the
That's okay.
blanket and pop culture stuff. Rob and I are really into pop culture.
I know.
We could do a whole. I'd like to do a whole show about like 60s sitcoms or something like that. It'd be so much fun. But who would listen, Rob?
A lot of people our age would listen. Last thing about it is amazing to me when you think of the great brands like Paramount and all the other screen gems that I remember as a kid growing up, how they were working mills. These people were in there day in and day out. Writers, grips, directors, producers, actors, makeup, costume design. And they worked like a steel mill. They worked round the clock. Anyway, enough about that.
No frost in my garden this morning. I was surprised yesterday. I got to put my garden clothes on for the entire day, and I've got a pair of Levi's that I exclusively for the garden, and they're just so comfy. And it was a little cool at the start of the morning, but I tell you, I worked all day in the garden, and I'm feeling it today. First started filling the cold frame. A cold frame is just a unheated greenhouse out in the garden with a translucent or transparent cover. I filled that up with Swiss chard and winter boar kale. I saw yesterday when I was at the nursery, when I was at Hahn Nursery, they have a bunch of lettuce and kale and collards and all sorts of other cool weather crops on sale, selling them cheap. And there's not too late to plant that stuff. I was planting it all yesterday. I love putting in. They had this big pot of Swiss chard that I was able to put in the cold frame. That's going to go at least till Christmas, hopefully all winter. Certainly the kale should go all winter. Some of the tender crops, impatiens, some other annuals, caladiums, some peppers, basil plants. I was able to move those into the greenhouse, and don't hate me for having a greenhouse. In there, I have a Carolina Reaper pepper plant that's almost as tall as me. I put that stuff in. I bought it cheap, in July, and said, I wonder if it could make it in the greenhouse, and it has. I planted lettuce in the garden. I picked probably the last figs, and I'm headed out to Italy on Wednesday, Sicily and Italy, taking lots of my friends with me. And I worry about my fig tree because I haven't got a frost yet. You usually have to wait until till the leaves drop, and then I've got this big tree, and I turn it horizontal, and then I cover it with bags of compost to keep that for the winter. But I'm looking at the 10-day. I'm going to be gone for 13. I don't see anything cold enough that would kill the top of that fig tree, but I don't know if I can lay it down horizontally before the leaves come off. So I'm not sure what to do with that fig tree because I've had my best year for figs. I picked 2 figs yesterday that, like I said, that might be the end of it, but we'll see. We'll see how they responded to that cool weather last night. This morning at my place it was 34, but lots of places I saw 28. And so I got my garlic planted. A big thank you also to my friend Dan from Cleveland who calls in all the time. Not only had he sent me some garlic when I had a crop failure, he heard about my Old Man Falls and sent me some exercises to help with balance. And so, Dan, thank you so much. I planted pansies yesterday. I planted lily bulbs. I planted tulips. I planted a boxwood shrub, really cool one that's variegated called Gold Gem. Golden and green leaves. And also, when we come back, I want to talk about saving your tender bulbs because after you get a frost, the dahlias, the caladiums, the elephant ears, tuberous begonias. They can all be saved, and it's all your calls today. Right, Rob?
Absolutely. 866-391-1020. So anything on your mind, now's the time to give us a call. 866-391-1020.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Pitt, North Carolina State, Mason Heichel, 3 touchdown passes, 423 yards. Pitt gets a big win, 53-34. It's Stanford coming up next week. Penn State off this weekend. Next week, it's Ohio State. WVU lost to TCU 23-17. The Dukes were beaten by Wagner 24-13. Robert Morris, a winner over St. Francis of Pennsylvania 24-14. Coach Lou Berry of University Prep, who hadn't won a City League championship since 2016, defeated Westinghouse, winners of the last 3 City League titles, 26-0. Steelers, Green Bay tonight, Sunday Night Football, as Aaron Rodgers takes on the team that he played for 18 years. Yoshinobu Yamamoto threw Major League Baseball postseason's first complete game in 8 years on Saturday night in the World Series. He threw Major League Baseball's first complete game in 11 days behind another dominant performance from their best pitcher this season. The Dodgers shook off a one-sided Game 1 loss and came back to win 5-1 to even the series at a game apiece. Game 3 comes up at Chavez Ravine Monday night at 8 here on the West Coast. Ricard Raquel left the match last night against Columbus after taking a puck off his left glove, and the Penguins went on to lose a shootout 5-4 to the Blue Jackets. Pitt volleyball today at 1. They take on Wake Forest, and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Phoenix battle to a 0-0 draw. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Hey, today is the final day for Pumpkinland at Janoski's in Clinton, and there's also some good news in the way of a sale. That's right, Janoski's last of the season sale. Hot and sweet banana pepper, half bushels, $12. Green and flamingo peppers, half bushel, $10. And there's more. You got to get there while supplies last. And how about the fall mum sale? 3 for $20 at the Garden Center, and Shredded Cabbage Day happening November 1st at 10 a.m. All you need to do is to make the call, 724-899-3438, extension 2.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Wow, where does the time go? Who can believe it's this time of year? Thanksgiving and Christmas are not far away. Hi, this is Randy Sorgel of Sorgels in Wexford. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, Sorgels is the place to go. We hold that old-fashioned charm of yesteryear. With our fruit market, bakery, deli, naturally Sorgels with over 2,000 gluten-free and allergen-free items, Arsenal cider, ice cream, the gift barn, there's so much to look at. Especially, however, our greenhouse is stocked with houseplants and unique and different garden accessories. Home Accents is decorated for the holidays, and our new line of specialty baby clothing is going to be the perfect gift for the little ones in your life. Sorgels, a great place to go this weekend, right off the Wexford exit number 73 of Interstate 79. Call us at 724-935-2090.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Your call is just literally seconds away. Doug's going to add a little thing to the recipe, and then all of your calls moments away. Doug.
Well, I need your help if you've got any suggestions. I had a call yesterday from a woman who's dealing with fungus gnats. Now, I told her everything that we normally say. Dry out the soil, yellow sticky traps, a product called Mosquito Bites, which is a organic thing, hydrogen peroxide, She tried all that. Now the other 3 other things I told her was try to get those fungus gnats with horticultural oil. There's also something called beneficial nematodes that will go in the soil, and then also diatomaceous earth can be put on the top of the plants. If you have dealt with fungus gnats and have something besides that worked, let me know, because she's at her wit's end, and we talked twice yesterday. All right, Rob, let's go to the phones.
All right, here's Kim in Wexford. Hey, Kim, good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to ask Doug if you plant a nitrogen-producing plant in your garden for the winter.
I do, but actually I don't know if they're nitrogen-producing. That would be a legume. You know, what we're talking about in a general broad strokes is called a cover crop. Planting something. Right. Planting something in the garden after everything's done to hold the soil in place, but also in the case of legumes, and an example of legumes would be beans and peas, but not for a cover crop, but that's just what a legume is. And what legumes do is they take nitrogen out of the air and they send it down to the soil and they split it and make it available for plants. And so that's one of the types of cover crops. The cover crop that I use, Kim, is called winter rye. And so it's not a legume, it's like a flat-bladed grass. And the way I use it is as a green manure. And so as soon as the tomatoes come out, which is right now, I should have this in there already, but I'm going crazy getting ready to get out of town. You can find winter rye at a good nursery, and it's inexpensive. It's a big seed, and you throw it down, and the grass comes up, and it holds the soil in place. It gives a habitat for beneficial insects. Then in the spring, what we do with any of these cover crops, if you're tilling your garden, you would cut it down and till it in. In my case, I don't till. I'm no-till, and so I will cut it down, and I'll just put compost on top of it. And what we're doing there is whatever that crop is, it will decompose and become green manure. So are you thinking about doing it, or have you done it?
No, I'm going to do it, but I didn't know what to plant for that. So, no, this will be the first time I've done it.
There's a million different cover crops, and the place to look for if you wanted to use something that was nitrogen fixing, I think there's an annual clover type thing that they use. I know that at Janoski's they use buckwheat, and so it's about finding the right thing for you. I'm only using winter rye because it's easy to find, and I've had good results with it. But Kim, if I was you, I would do a little bit more of a deep dive. There's some catalogs out there like what is it? I think it's called Pleasant Valley, and their website is groworganic.com. I know they've got like a long list of cover crops, so you might be able to specifically target what you're interested in and what you want to do with your soil. But any cover crop you put in there is a benefit. And one of those benefits, like I said, we've worked so hard on improving the soil. You can lose like a quarter inch of that soil to erosion during the winter. And so that's why we either mulch, I do anyway, I mulch it, or I have the cover crop in place there. And so look around a little bit and see what you think. As I said, you're not going to go wrong with winter rye, but you might want something else. You might want the cover crop to do something else for you. And so poke around a little bit and see what you think. Does that help?
Okay. That's great.
All
and
right.
Have a good trip.
Thanks so much, Kim.
All right, from BB, Doug, do I have to separate daylilies after a few years?
Yeah, you do, actually, but don't do it until the spring. It's too late now. And Roberta, hold on there. We'll get to you. Do we have time for her to...
let's wait till after
Roberta,
the news.
can you hang on through the break, and then we'll get to you afterwards? But for your daylilies, in the spring, lift the clump and, cut it into fours. You can't hurt them. I know it'll be like, oh, I can't believe I'm cutting these roots up, but they will really enjoy it, and it makes them bloom better. I have to cut mine up every 3 years. I like to split mine so that they keep blooming and keep looking good. Nothing better than daylilies, and the deer love them too. That's the problem.
All right, 866-391-1020. Any question you have on your mind, now is the time to give us your call. Coming up next hour, it's all about your favorite Halloween candy and comfort food on the Coons Cooking Hour. And then following that, we've got lots of good stuff throughout the rest of the day. I hope you'll stay with us, including a very interesting Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. Why? Pitt gets the big win yesterday with a freshman quarterback, a guy who knew a little bit about quarterbacking, and the University of Pittsburgh. He knew a whole lot because he was very successful. None other than former head coach Walt Harris will kick off the show today. Tough day for the Duquesne Dukes. They lost to Wagner. Jerry Schmidt with his regular appearance. He, of course, the head coach of Duquesne at 11:30. And then we pick our weekly winners against the spread. And it is Week 8, and it'll all top off tonight with that big game in which he is taking on his former team. The world will be watching. Four-time MVP, 18 years with the Green Bay Packers, now wearing the black and gold of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers getting ready to take on the Green Bay Packers Sunday Night Football. So we have a lot to do before 1 o'clock as our day continues. And coming up in just a couple of moments, Rob Taylor with a news update at 7:30, and then right back to your calls. Get on the line. Doug is here, wants to talk to you. Fall planning and more. 866-391-1020.
Hi, this is Bill Hillgrove. If you're retired and own your own home, I want to share something that made a big difference in my life. A reverse mortgage from Federated Reverse Mortgage. I went through it myself. After speaking to my financial advisor, I turned to Craig Schwager at Fed Reverse. Craig has over 35 years of experience helping Pittsburgh families just like yours. And he and his team made the process simple and clear. Here's what I learned. A reverse mortgage isn't about giving up your home. It's about using the equity you've built to enjoy more financial freedom during retirement. And yes, you stay in your home. If you're 62 or older or helping a parent who is, talk to Craig at Federated. They're a local trusted source that truly cares. Call 833-888-0801 or visit fedreverse.com to schedule a free consultation because you've worked hard for your home. Now, let it work for you. Equal housing lender, reverse mortgages are subject to eligibility.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about cats or the joy of early bedtimes? And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So, you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
It's Marty Griffin. I have seen so much angst and anger these days that, you know what's overwhelmed me with joy and optimism? This Get Marty. The folks in this community that have stepped up. You can't help your neighbor if you hate your neighbor. Get Marty epitomizes that opportunity to help people, feed people, clothe people, educate people. If you need me, get Marty at kdkradio.com.
Get Marty is presented by Phil DeLuceni and Associates, Levin Furniture, UPMC Health System, CNS Construction, John Keefe Restaurant Group of Oakmont, and by Robert Pierce and Associates. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 34 degrees, Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A toddler is in the hospital after being hit by a vehicle Saturday night in Homewood. It happened around 9 o'clock on Monticello Street. Police say the boy is in serious but stable condition at the hospital. It's unclear if charges will be filed against the driver. A man is in the hospital after he fell from the main scoreboard at Acrisure Stadium, 50 feet down to a catwalk area. This happened Saturday night. That man suffered severe injuries to his lower body. Right now he's in critical condition at a hospital. Authorities are investigating that fall. Pittsburgh police are also investigating after a man was found shot in Homewood Saturday night. It happened around 8:45. Police say a man was shot in the buttocks near Idlewild Street. The suspect ran away on foot towards Felicia Way. Man who was shot was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition. One person has died, 6 others hurt in a shooting incident at Lincoln University. That shooting happened Saturday night in the 1500 block of Baltimore Pike near the school's football field. It is homecoming weekend for the university, which is located an hour west of Philadelphia. Police in that area are investigating and say that they have one person in custody for questioning at this hour. Well, Pittsburgh International Airport held its second public trial for its new terminal on Saturday. That trial run included about 2,000 people who simulated common airport situations like going through the checkpoints, using the wheelchair accommodations, and other simulators for which how passengers will use that new airport. It's all part of the airport's goal to give passengers a smoother flying process. Still no word on when that $1.7 billion new airport terminal will open for good, but airport officials say it should be open before Thanksgiving. KDKA Radio News Time is 7:32. We have the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
In many ways, Thanksgiving and Christmas are right around the corner. How would you like to sit down at the dinner table, have smaller clothes on, feeling and looking better about yourself, moving easier and faster, welcoming friends and family who are shocked at your weight loss? This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. Now is the time to get started so excess pounds will be off for the holidays. It'll be your greatest gift ever. Call me at 1-800-900-THIN. Let's make this a Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving together.
As an athlete, I'm all about performance and my overall health. I've wanted to improve my smile for a while, but I thought braces was the only option. A friend of mine mentioned she was improving her smile with Invisalign, so I checked out with my local orthodontist and found out that Invisalign could work for me as well. After a quick scan, my orthodontist created my Invisalign plan, and I couldn't be more excited to start. Check out Invisalign.com to find a doctor in your neighborhood. It's great that there are trained Invisalign doctors in our own community here. Invisalign.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Look for sunshine today with a few clouds at times and a high of 58. Then a clear sky for much of the time tonight and a low of 37. Leads to a generally nice day for tomorrow with sunshine, a few clouds once again, and a high again reaching 58, leading to a cooler Tuesday but still featuring sunshine, high 55. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, be back at it Monday. Get through this weekend. Maybe you'll be a little bleary-eyed late Steeler game, but we'll be back at it Monday, that's for sure. Colin Dunlap, catch you Monday 2 to 6 right here, KDK.
10th caller right now wins a $25 gift certificate to Janowski's in Clinton, and that number is 412-922-1020. 10th caller wins it. Roberta, as we begin our third segment on the Organic Gardener, Doug Oster, DougOster.com. Thanks for holding on, and good morning.
Hi. I'm interested in finding out what I could put on Rose of Sharon to kill it. It's just taken over everything.
Oh, I feel your pain, Roberta. I bet you hate it if you hear me when I'm talking about Rose of Sharon and I say how much I love them, and you're at your wit's end with Rose of Sharon. So
it's just everywhere.
I know, that's why people hate them. They make babies and everything. Actually, the best thing to do, if you can do it, is cut them to the ground and then do it again in the spring. Cut them to the ground, and then eventually you'll win the battle. There are some organic herbicides you could use. There's 2 brands that I like. One is called Burnout, and the other one's called Avenger, and you can find those at your local nursery. And they basically, one uses something called clove oil, and the other one uses a high strength of vinegar. But it's going to be a challenge, Roberta. I'm not going to lie to you, because one of the reasons people hate Rosa Sharon and one of the reasons people love Rosa Sharon is it's indestructible. And so, yeah. How are we talking? Trees, shrubs, little
more shrubs. Mine's little shoots that.
Yeah.
They're maybe about 12 inches high. They grow and they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
Does the wind take them? Is that how they?
So when they bloom, after they bloom, they have this seed pod, and the birds love the seeds. And so you know what's going to happen then. They'll drop their seeds, but the birds will eat the seeds. And then when they eat the seeds, it comes back out of them because the bird can't digest the seed. And then it is going to sprout again, and they sprout very easily. So if you could do it, or if you had somebody that could do it, I would cut them to the ground, and then I would put on one of those 2 products. Again, this is the organic gardening show, so we can't use chemicals, and so we use one of those. We use one of those organic herbicides, and then in the spring, first thing in the spring, as soon as you see anything sprout, hack them to the ground, and that will get you to win the battle. But like I said, it's not going to be easy. That's a plant that just persists like crazy.
And then the roots, they just get all entangled. I have one beside my driveway, and it's about 8 feet tall.
So here's the thing with it. Here's how this works for the way I'm telling you to deal with it. The top of the plant feeds those roots. If we remove the top of the plant and we keep removing it, you'll exhaust it can't get the roots don't have enough energy to send up another shoot, but it's going to take a couple times of cutting it to the ground, and then the roots are just going to die. That's why I'm doing it that way. It's not easy, but it will work.
I know.
It'll work. All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now, cutting out the tallest ones out. But at the back of my house, they started growing, and they're about hundreds of plants, and they're about 12 inches high, and they're just everywhere.
You need to figure out some kind of way, either a brush hog or something, or some kind of way to cut those to the ground now, and then again in the spring, and you'll be okay. Good luck, and keep me posted. Let me know how it goes.
I don't mind them. They're pretty. My neighbor has a couple. I don't know whether that's where I got them.
That's where you got them. That's where you got them.
Yep.
If I was you, Roberta, to tell you the truth, I would embrace them and just
deal with it. Huh?
Turn your mind around on them and say, geez, they are beautiful. And that's kind of the way I look at them, because it's going to be so much work. It's going to be so hard, Roberta. You should.
I'm 83.
Right,
so
right.
I'm not at the age that I can go out there and do a lot.
I think it might be time for you to have a Rose of Sharon garden, okay?
All righty. Thank you.
All right,
so
Roberta.
Listen to you every Sunday.
Thanks so much for listening. Let me know how it goes. Let me know next spring what you decided to do.
All right, number to dial to get on board here in the waning minutes of the broadcast, 866-391-1020. Here is Lee in New Kensington. Hello, Lee.
Morning, Doug. I have a 100 by 50 foot garden, heavy clay soil. When it dries out, it's like a rock. I was wondering if I could use wood chips. I'm getting a couple trees down and rototill in the garden to loosen up the soil.
It's going to take forever. The wood chips, I would be tempted to just. I would really be tempted to mix them with something else and be like kind of on a 2-year plan to make them into compost. I think, really, Lee, the best thing to do for that space would be to get like 3 or 4 yards of good compost and just get it dumped on top. You're going to end up investing maybe $125, maybe a little bit more, and you're going to have the best garden ever. Just piling that compost on top and kind of cutting it into beds, then maybe actually the wood chips as paths might be a better thing. It just takes forever for wood chips to break down. When they do break down, they rob the soil of nitrogen, but they do release it back into the soil when they decompose. But it takes so long for the wood chips. If you were to till those into that clay soil, you'd have a hard time on your hands. I really think if you can get that much compost onto that spot, you'll be much better off. New Ken, they might actually give compost away up there somewhere, making it out of our leaves if you had a truck or knew somebody that had a truck. But I really think adding compost now, or actually up in New Ken, that far up, you might be able to get some well-aged animal manure, anything like that would break down quicker. Even shredded leaves. It's just because it takes so long for those wood chips to break down. That's what I would suggest.
I've used shredded leaves, and I end up with weeds all over the garden next year.
That can happen too. I mean, have you been relatively successful, even though in the clay soil, or has it been a challenge?
Usually they do, but last year my garden was the worst garden I've ever had, and I go out and dig in it, and it's just hard like a rock.
So when I'm telling you to get that compost, what do you think? What are you thinking in your head? You're like,
well, I just spend a couple $100 to get a couple yards of compost, but very good. I just wondered what the downside of using wood chips would be.
The only downside is that it takes forever for them to break down. If you could if you could take those wood chips and layer them with like shredded leaves or material from the garden, material from the kitchen, and make this layered thing with the wood chips, you could probably get them to break down in about a year and a half. But just throwing them onto the garden is not going to help you. You need to get some kind of organic matter onto that garden, and then you're going to have your best garden ever. That's the thing. That's what you want. And you picked an especially bad year this year with that drought we had. If you have clay and you have a drought, it's like you said, it's drying into a cement-like hard. Brick-like substance, and so the compost will it'll change everything. Look around a little bit, see if you can find somebody that might even be able to load manure for you or load compost for you if you wanted to do it that way to save a little bit of money, a truckload at a time. Mm-hmm. So there's also different ways to do it, but you've got to get organic matter on there and just get it on top, and then you use that clay as your base. And eventually, you do the compost thing, and then maybe in 2 years you do another dump of compost. It decomposes and it works its way down into the clay, and you're going to have a much better garden. Just trust me on that, and bite the bullet, and somehow figure out a way to put on, basically 12 inches of organic matter, and you're going to have a great garden. You're going to call me next spring, and you're going to say, Doug, you were right. I don't hear that very often, especially from Rob. He never says, Doug, you're right.
Yeah, last year I had 8 tomato plants and got 4 tomatoes from them. So thank you, Doug.
All right, Lee. Good luck, buddy.
So you're getting ready to head to across the Atlantic, but what's in the future? What's the next destination?
Well, after that, it's Poland. And so I leave Wednesday with about 40 people to go see Sicily, which I've never seen, and then southern Italy, which I've had the pleasure of seeing before. And I can't tell you how excited I am to see Italy again. But I've never seen Poland. My wife went with my son to Poland last year or the year before, and they loved it. It's not really on a lot of people's destination as a place to go, but I figured there's probably a lot of people from Pittsburgh that have Polish descent, like my wife does, half Italian, half Polish. And I just wanted to see it, and luckily, I basically just announced it. It's already half full, but we're just gonna traverse the country. We're gonna see the beauty of the country. We're gonna see the countryside. We're gonna see Warsaw and Krakow and a monastery and gardens. We're gonna see 4 amazing gardens. It's just that one it's always nice to add a new destination, and we'll just see how many people would like to see that. But it is an absolutely beautiful country. When we do these, and I was talking to Rob about it off the air, we get a tour manager. It's not me. I'm not leading the tour. I'm just there to be with you and to help you and work in the gardens to help ID stuff and hang out. The tour manager is from there. They know everything, and they take us around, and they got all the places where they give you like 5 places. Here, try these places to eat, and here's the best place to buy souvenirs, and having somebody from there is important. And then we have these local guides too that for each city that know everything about it, and so through them we discover all sorts of cool stuff. So that's in June. If you're interested, that's at DougOster.com. Heck, if you wanted to, you could just you could come to Italy. I got 2 seats left in Italy, even though I'm taking people, but nobody's going to want to do that with only 2 days left.
You never know.
It's going to be I just, I have a bunch of return travelers, and we're all just thrilled to see Italy again. There's no better place in the world than Italy when it comes to the people, the food, the history. Just the people, they're so friendly. I don't know how they do it, how they see tourists every day and remain friendly.
Well, everybody can join me on my trip. It'll be to Monaca along the mighty shores of the Ohio River later today.
You got a good view of the river. You could have from your porch. You could bring them up. Yeah, man.
We can have a great time. All right, stay with us. Quick look at sports, and then he comes back for one more. Then the Coons Cooking Hour, Halloween candy favorites, and comfort food on KDKA.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKA-radio.com. News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Pitt, North Carolina State, Mason Heichel, 3 touchdown passes, 423 yards. Pitt gets a big win, 53-34. It's Stanford coming up next week. Penn State off this weekend. Next week, it's Ohio State. WVU lost to TCU 23-17. The Dukes were beaten by Wagner 24-13. Robert Morris, a winner over St. Francis of Pennsylvania 24-14. Coach Lou Berry of University Prep, who hadn't won a City League championship since 2016, defeated Westinghouse, winners of the last 3 City League titles, 26-0. Steelers, Green Bay tonight, Sunday Night Football, as Aaron Rodgers takes on the team that he played for 18 years. Yoshinobu Yamamoto threw Major League Baseball postseason's first complete game in 8 years on Saturday night in the World Series. He threw Major League Baseball's first complete game in 11 days behind another dominant performance from their best pitcher this season. The Dodgers shook off a one-sided Game 1 loss and came back to win 5-1 to even the series at a game apiece. Game 3 comes up at Chavez Ravine Monday night at 8 here on the West Coast. Ricard Raquel left the match last night against Columbus after taking a puck off his left glove, and the Penguins went on to lose a shootout 5-4 to the Blue Jackets. Pitt volleyball today at 1. They take on Wake Forest, and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Phoenix battle to a 0-0 draw. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Hi, this is Les Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management. Every week I change the message on our building sign, and one of my favorites is, "You're never too old to set another goal or dream a new dream." It's so true. I was 63 on the day my daughter Sarah, son Lester, and I realized a big new dream. We opened the doors to our family-owned investment firm. I'd grown increasingly dissatisfied at our Wall Street brokerage, pressured by the priorities of a big firm. We craved a more intimate environment where we could focus on what matters most. Relationships with our clients. Sarah and I are certified financial planners, and Lester is a chartered financial analyst. We deliver big resources in a personalized environment where you're important to all of us. Firms turn over all the time. Advisors turn over. We don't. We're headquartered in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. We live here and we work here in the building that we bought together. It's our family helping your family. Find out more at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Fantastic fall savings continue at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. 80% lean, fresh ground beef, $3.99 a pound. Little Leaf Farms leaf lettuce, 4-ounce packages, $2.99 each. And selected varieties of value pack Lance crackers, 20-count packages, $4.99 each. Additional savings in our meat department. Eckrich smoked sausage or Polska kibasi, 39 to 42-ounce packages, $8.88 each. And boneless, skinless, fresh salmon side cuts are $5.49 a pound. In the produce department, selected varieties of Eastern apples, 3-pound bags, 2 for $5, and Haas variety avocados are 77 cents each. In our deli department, Sugardale Virginia Classic ham is $6.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Kraft chunk or shredded cheese, 7 to 8-ounce packages, 2 for $5.
So get in as those fantastic fall savings continue at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, before he heads to Sicily, he's going to make us an offer we can't refuse. He's got 3 minutes and counting, so it's all Doug Oster, DougOster.com.
Well, I'm finally getting to the tender bulbs, the tuberous begonias, the caladiums, the elephant ears, and the dahlias, cannas also. Once frost blackens the tops of these plants, you can save the bulb or tuber, whatever it is, underneath, and that's something I'm doing. I actually started yesterday. When I planted those pansies, I was pulling out tuberous begonias. Some types of begonia have this tuber underneath it. You'll know when you pull it up. It's a big, round, kind of bulb-like thing. And all we're doing is we're taking whatever that is for the caladiums, the elephant ears, any of these dahlias. We're pulling them out after the after frost. Actually, for the dahlias, it's a little bit different. We got a couple minutes. I can do the dahlias. So the dahlias, we cut the tops off when they're blackened, and then we cover that little stalk because it has a kind of a hole in it. You don't want water getting in there, but you leave the dahlia in for another 2 weeks, the tuber down below, and it grows eyes. It needs an eye to make a flower the next year. So anyway, when we're done with that, we pull them. Same thing with these other bulbs or tubers. We put them on no water. We put them on some newspaper, let them dry for a couple days. Now we store them in vermiculite or peat moss or something like that, or they don't touch. You put a layer of them down, then you put a layer of whatever your stuff is over it, then more of them and more of them. You put that, close that up. I use like a big Rubbermaid container. Put it somewhere cold that doesn't freeze, and they'll sit there all winter, and the next spring you can bring them up. Next week, our friend Steve Rapaski from Bee Control and Meadowsweet Apiaries will host the show, but I have two segments with my friend Kathy Jentz. She's the guest. Will be talking about her book, Ground Cover Revolution, and other things as I go to Sicily and Italy. You can follow along on Facebook. Remember, organic gardeners, you make our world brighter and safer with each seed you sow and every garden you grow.
All right, have a safe trip. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, Steve and I, next week. And in the meantime, stay tuned because Rob Taylor's 5 minutes away with your news. And then it's the Coons Cooking Hour on KDKA.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Heard us talk about downtown regenerating, business, attracting, expansion. Founding partner and CEO, Walnut Capital, Todd Reardboard.
As we all know, the whole AI revolution that's encompassing the country and the world is accelerated pace. And we need to keep pace with that to be competitive with everybody. And we're optimistic about the future.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I'm with Joe Potocznik, JP Roofing and Siding. Congratulations, Joe. Triple Crown winner from Owens Corning.
Yes, Larry. We are proud to announce that we are recognized for service excellence, product excellence, and MVP based on marketing leadership and customer service.
Call Joe and his team. You'll get the best of the best. Get a free estimate for roof and siding replacements. Call the roofing replacement experts at JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711. Congrats, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
Attention dealers. Ian Miller's fall sale starts October 17th and ends on the 31st. 20% off everything except items marked firm. Don't miss the Antique Appraiser Fair, Sunday, August 19th. Appraiser Jeff Poole will be in from noon to 3 p.m. Fee is $5 per item. Get to Ian Miller Antique Mall, open Tuesday through Sunday till 5. So much more than an antique store. Visit Ian Miller Antique Mall in Verona. Like them on Facebook or call 412-828-3288.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Imagine growing up without seeing a ball game, visiting a museum, or exploring a zoo. For thousands of kids in our community, the cost of admission makes these experiences impossible. Tickets for Kids changes that, donating tickets to under-resourced youth through schools and social service agencies. Learn more at ticketsforkids.org. Odyssey listeners, pull up to Cuddy's Soul Food, located in Lawrence Hall, Butler Street in Lawrenceville, where the flavor hits like your favorite beat. Fried chicken, greens, mac and cheese, it's all love all day. Cuddy's Soul Food, soul on a plate. Feeling lucky? Then take a seat at Rivers Casino. Play your favorite table game for a chance at $250 every half hour from 7 to 11 p.m. on October 23rd and 30th. Visit riverscasino.com for more information.
Details at kdkaradio.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 34 degrees, Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh police are investigating after a man was found shot in Homewood Saturday night. It happened around 8:45 p.m. Police say a man was shot in the buttocks near Ottawa Avenue and Frankstown Avenue. An alleged suspect ran away on foot towards Felicia Way, according to police. The man who was shot was taken to the hospital. No word on his
condition. Also in Homewood last night, a toddler is now in the hospital after being hit by a vehicle. It happened around 9 p.m. on Monticello Street. Police say the boy is in serious but stable condition at the hospital. It's unclear if charges will be filed against the driver. A man is in the hospital after he fell from the main scoreboard at Acrisure Stadium 50 feet down to a catwalk area. This happened Saturday night, though we're on the actual time it happened. The man suffered severe injuries to his lower body. He's in critical condition at a hospital. Pittsburgh police say an infant was found dead inside the trunk of a car on the north side. A discovery was made on Friday night along Federal Street. The baby was found wrapped in clothing and inside a plastic bag. Police believe a woman from Ohio Township likely birthed the baby inside of a residence on Marshall Avenue and then went to the hospital nearby without the baby. Police then found the baby in the vehicle on Federal Street. That woman was treated at the hospital and will be transported to Pittsburgh Police Headquarters for questioning after she's able to leave the hospital. Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office has not yet determined the cause of death of that infant. One person has died, 6 others hurt in a shooting incident at Lincoln University. Shooting happened Saturday night in the 1500 block of Baltimore Pike near the school's football field. It's homecoming weekend for Lincoln, which is located an hour west of Philadelphia. Police in that area say one person is in custody. That person was found with a gun. No word on if charges will be filed against that person. KDK Radio News Time is 8:02. The AccuWeather forecast on a Sunday coming up.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Vitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh. At the PA Hypnosis Center, you have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Vitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your pre-consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine much of the time on the way up to a high of 58, followed by a generally clear sky tonight and a low of 37. Tomorrow looks rather similar with sunshine for much of the time and a high again reaching 58 before it turns a bit cooler on Tuesday, but still generally sunny with a high of 55. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
I don't know about you folks, but I'm heading to Coons Market. You should too. Stock up on everything you need. Maybe go to Banksville, McKnight Road, and 600 varieties of your favorite beers, microbrews, craft beers, and more. You're going to want to do whatever you need to do. Get inside and get ready for the epic black and gold game tonight. And being that the Steelers are playing, what does that mean, Frank?
Oh, it's a time to come in and pick up some game time snacks. You have all day to get some extra shopping and all that done. Go to the cafes and enjoy. Pick up some of that Halloween candy because, you know, you can enjoy some before the game, and then rest goes to the trick-or-treaters, whatever your fancy.
I was in Hopewell all afternoon filming some videos, and I was at the register, and I saw the ad for Wingtopia, and I just thought to myself, There's nothing like that deal. That is an incredible deal.
We do our Wingtopia on Wednesdays, and then every game day,
Which is today.
Which is today, and that's all day. You can go. You have more time this week to pick up some more wings, and we sell them. They're normally $7.99 a pound. We sell them for $5.99 a pound. You're going to get about 8 wings per pound. We use a jumbo wing, and they're absolutely delicious. And just pick your flavor.
All right, so here's the deal. Today it's your favorite Halloween candy, and we got a special way to kind of get that going as far as conversation and comfort food. And all you need to do to get that going is step outside. I came to work today about 3 a.m. It was 36 degrees when I got in my car. I had ice on the windshield. Took a while to thaw out. Even had the heat as far as the seat is concerned on, and we were just toasty by the time we got to work. But we want to warm up your appetite with some comfort food and your Halloween candy, treats, and more, and we have everything. The shelves are stocked at Coons Market with everything that you need for the ghouls and goblins when they come knocking on your door this Friday. So remember, it's Coons Market for that holiday that is Halloween. All your favorite candies, baked goods, chips, and, of course, just about anything you need for tonight's game as well, including Wingtopia, where you can get, for what price, Frank?
$5.99 a pound.
That's pretty incredible. All right, here's the deal. 866-391-1020. And a couple of months ago, Frank and I somehow, some way got on this topic about your favorite candy bar, and the thing just went viral. People were loving it. So why not a better time than right now to kind of call in, because Halloween is just days away. If you could have your one single choice for Halloween, what was your favorite candy bar? I got a couple, maybe a multiple choice or two, and maybe even all of the above. But for some reason, to this day, Frank, all these years later, I still love the incredible Zero bar. I don't know if you remember that. You're a little too young. But the Zero bar is still one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, I still remember the Zero bar.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't know if it's still out. I think it's still out there. Yeah, I think I've seen it out there. My favorite was always the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
They're still the best.
Yeah. They're a little smaller than they used to be.
Everything's a little smaller than it used to be.
They're delicious. You know, they're absolutely delicious. And so, you know, you made sure that, you know, people give you those, that when you're trick-or-treating, you made sure keep them from getting smashed or anything. Those are going to be delicious. And, you know, Snicker bars were other ones that I liked. You know, and when you were growing up, you kind of knew which houses had the better treats. You know, you knew the one had, they always give out a can of soda. They always give out, you know, full-size candy bars. Sometimes you'd get the big, giant Hershey bars. You know, like, that's great. Then you get the almonds one and say, here you go, Mom. Here you go, Dad. I don't want that one.
Listen, I got to tell you, you know, you can get the big bars for cooking, Hershey bars for cooking. I loved Hershey so much, and that was like the rich stuff, meaning as far as the taste is concerned, absolutely incredible. But here's the thing that I want to say, because I love Coons Market, and I can't imagine my life without it, but I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of people try to go to specialty stores because they're looking for certain things, you know, big box stores, what have you, that novelty store. I was in Coons Market in Hopewell. I was in Bellevue. I recently was at Banksville and McKnight. We have everything you need in every major brand, and some of the ones you wouldn't think at Coons Market. I have never seen a better candy supply. At Hopewell, there's actually 2 sections where you can get all the candy you want, and the pricing is incredible, but you're going to want to go today. You got a little bit of time before the game tonight, because as we start rolling into the week, people stopping before or after work, that stuff's going to get depleted quickly, so please get there right now.
Yeah, we'll have the candy. It's just you might not get exactly what you were looking for. So it's to be able to pick up that variety that you're looking for. You know, the sooner the better. And again, it's a nice treat. If you're doing a Halloween theme, people over Halloween theme even tonight. You know, go ahead. If you're having Halloween parties all weekend, you know, next weekend, you know, it's time to stock up on those. So, you know, this is a great time of year, you know, with the fall weather, all the fall flavors that have come out and all the comfort foods cooking. You got candy that for the kids are happy. There's candy. You're going out. I'm sure it's going to be busy today picking up pumpkins from the stores and, you know, doing those extra little things as a family. And it's going to be a nice day.
Yeah, those beautiful.
Considering it's fall, it's going to be a nice day.
Beautiful carving pumpkins at an incredible price, but they're going fast too. Just about anything you can imagine. And, you know, I never minded as a kid candy apples. I always liked apples. I like stuff like that. And, we have the best produce anywhere, and obviously the stuff that you need to get those candy apples out, and maybe having a party or bobbing for apples as we used to do as kids, going to the neighbors as far as various Halloween parties are concerned. But, the other thing, too, Sweet Tooth, all sorts of great cookies, pies, cakes, got it all. And you've also got some new stuff there from a brand called Walnut Creek I saw the other day, some cinnamon buns, and that is a legendary brand, gooey, ooey, and really good.
Oh yeah, the Walnut Creek products that we've been getting in, the cinnamon rolls are really good. They're delicious, and that's from the Amish country is where that's really coming from, and just a great product. We're always out there looking for something different. We even have a food show with one of the distributors here on Tuesday out in Altoona. So looking again, it's getting all the vendors together and seeing what's new, what's up and coming, whether ideas for, whether it's just for different recipes or, different proteins, or how to merchandise something different, or the new candies and new everything, and the stuff that's coming up for the Christmas holidays, and stuff like that. So it's always good to get out there and just talking to all the different brokers and the vendors to see what's coming up.
All right, so here's the deal. Comfort food, we'll talk, but we want to talk also, because Halloween is days away, your favorite Halloween candy bar of all time, especially from those taste buds when you were just a youngster coming home with that pillowcase full of candy. So 866-391-1020, get on the phones. This is a great topic. It'll go quickly the hour, and I want you to have a chance to get that $25 gift certificate. Here's the other thing. I love soup of all kinds. Campbell's Chunky Soup. Right now, an incredible opportunity to save 18.6 to 19-ounce cans, 2 for $5. Campbell's really upped their game. Another example of a big brand evolving when Chunky Soup became a part of every family's cupboard. I love Chunky Soup, Frank.
Yeah, and the difference, obviously it's, bigger bites in it, but the other difference is it's ready to use. So you don't have to add any, it's not concentrated, it's ready to use. And so it makes it just that little bit easier to cook, and different flavors that they have. So it's always been one of the staples for me. It's been always chunky. I always like the chunky soups. Cooking, I use the condensed soups, and chunky soups was for eating.
The other candy bar that I'll always never turn away from is a Butterfinger.
They get stuck in my teeth.
I know.
The heck with that.
That's why I carry dental floss with me. Something else too, apple cider.
Yeah, apple cider is this time of year. I remember going to some of even the farmers markets, and they'll have some, they'll give samples out. And there was this Kalen's market up in Franklin Park, and they warm it up. So you get a little sample of warm apple cider with a cinnamon stick. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they did whenever I was growing up. And just that little bit different, just warming it up, give it a whole nother taste.
And by this time next year, we'll be talking about the new store in Bellevue. So many exciting things happening. But listen, this game tonight, it's a big one. And I heard the guy playing quarterback is actually dressing up for Halloween as Aaron Rodgers. So I'm pretty excited about that. I always wanted him to play for he does play for the Steelers. Okay. So, hey, we're going to take a break, but this is your cue. All of our lines are available. Your favorite candy bars. That one that when you got your hands on it, it was gold. You couldn't wait to get home and dig in. And remember, for every candy, everything, all those flavors to savor, yes, for the game tonight and more, we've got it at Coons Market. They're all 8 locally owned and independently operated. Your neighborhood grocers, they're open right now throughout the day into the night. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition. 866-391-1020. Favorite Halloween candy and comfort foods coming up with Frank Dentisi. Good morning. It's your Pratt Pack.
News, weather, traffic, and business every day. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. 412-556-2284. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid T-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Confused on where to start with weight loss medication? 95% of LifeMD patients said starting their weight loss journey was simple. Go to trylifemd.com now and see the best options with or without insurance for Wegovy, Zepbound, and more. Brian was approved for insurance coverage and lost 100 pounds.
I love the fact that insurance covered almost everything because pharmaceutical prices are going through the roof. The first time I realized that LifeMD was working for me was when the hunger started going away. I never thought losing weight would be this easy. It's given me more energy. I would recommend LifeMD to anybody.
Nearly 96% of patients said they would recommend the LifeMD program to anyone who wants to lose weight. Get started right now at trylifemd.com. That's TRYLIFEMD.com.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos. And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level. It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon. Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with cherry berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, sentimental when I look at some of these flyers, some of the things that you guys have on sale. And right now, Lance's Toasted Cheese Crackers. And Frank, I got to tell you, that was the staple for me on my way to do a ball game or, you know, packed in my brown bag school lunch as a kid. This time of year, running out before dinner, your mom would throw you a pack of them, you know, to play. And that crunch, that flavor. I absolutely love those crackers, man.
Yeah, and that was like I would have them for breakfast all the time. Just as a kid, on the way out the door, grab a pack of Lance crackers and go.
I used to eat 2 to 3 of there are like 6 of them, I think.
There's 6 in there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, a day. All right, favorite candy bar, comfort food. Let's go, 866-391-1020. Here's Carrie. Hey, Carrie, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So my favorite candy bar is the Clark bar.
Great bar. Great candy bar.
Oh, if you haven't tried them, they have the Clark, they're like the peanut butter cups, like the Reese's. They have a Clark one with a little bit of crunch in that peanut butter. It's good.
I have not tried that one. I still go with the original when I can find them.
Well, let me tell you something. Go to Coons Market up in Hopewell. I'm sure we have them, but you know the one that I love, and Clark was good, but the one that was the offshoot was the Zagnut bar. I loved the Zagnut bar.
I never had the Zagnut bar. I like Clark bars. I like Clark bars.
I can't explain it.
Another one that gets stuck in my teeth.
Is there peanut butter in that Zagnut? I can't. You know, Carrie, but I really love that candy bar.
I think there is, and I have often seen. Sometimes you can find the old-fashioned candy, and they sell just the insides of the Zagnut bar in a bag. You don't have that chocolate. You just have that good inside part.
They're good.
See, I always said that about Oreo cookies too. They should just sell the filling.
You know, they got all sorts of flavors of Oreo out now. Oreo's gone.
Oh, they do. I almost picked up every now and then we'll buy Oreos, and I saw some Reese's Oreos on the shelf. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. Obviously, I like peanut butter and chocolate together.
They've gone to a whole new level. That's for sure. No doubt about it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for the call, Carrie. Have a great day. You know, and I got to be honest with you. I know a lot of people poo-poo the old family fun size, but in the big picture, it really works a lot better because a lot of people, what they do, and I've noticed that we did it when my kids were small, you'll have your Snickers, Milky Ways, Three Musketeers, Butterfingers, the smaller ones. So you put the tray out as the child comes up, and they basically take 2 or 3. So you get 2 or 3 of different candy bars that really, when you put them together, it's like one big candy bar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you get your different tastes of them, and now you get a variety. Kind of like slider sandwiches. You can get a variety of candy bars without having to eat well, I can eat both the two or 3 of the big ones too. But you get those small ones. It's funny that they call them the size. I always remember a comedian saying, "I said this is what fun is. Imagine what these big candy bars."
Listen, here's the other thing. People don't realize how fortunate they are today, especially you youngsters. And I know this sounds like I'm an old timer, which I guess I am. But I grew up, post World War II, greatest generation. So they were pinching pennies at all times. So the mothers, while the kids were in school before Halloween, would be baking batches of cookies and brownie and fudge. So when you would go to someone's house, they would bring out that tray with wax paper, and underneath it, there'd be like chocolate chip cookies, oatmeal raisin, peanut butter cookies, which were easy to make. So you were getting like fresh baked goods and fresh food and fruits and all sorts of things when Halloween rolled around. Candy bars kind of came later, but I can tell you, we used to go to 200 houses a night at least, come back, dump out the pillowcase, go back out. And a lot of it at the end of the day were fresh baked goods that had kind of gotten smashed with all the candy that you were dropping in over top of them. But back in the day, people used to make real product and actually give it out on Halloween.
Well, you'll still get that. Some people give out Rice Krispie treats. Now, that was before they packaged them. When you only got them if you made them at home, and you would get those, or some, the parents and the kids get together and they'll make candy apples, and you'll get a candy apple. You'll get different things that they made themselves at home just because they enjoyed doing it, and then passing them out instead of just getting the candy bars. And as the price of the candy goes up, some of that makes more sense to do something like that. And again, I'm sure you're not getting a slice of cake or anything like that, but like the Rice Krispie treats were probably the most popular one that I remember seeing.
I still like them, but I got to be honest with you. With all due respect, my sisters all made them. My people that I was dating throughout the years, but the packaged ones are the best. I'm sorry, the ones that Kellogg's make that you can pick up at Coons Market. They're the best.
Yeah, but then people made them with Fruity Pebbles, and you got different flavors.
So I was in Hopewell all afternoon filming all these videos, and I was in the snack aisle because, football season, all this other stuff. And as I was done, the very last video, I was exhausted. I was getting ready to walk out. Then I looked down at the ground, and I saw on the lower shelf that the little bags of all the varieties of chips, how you got Snyder's. And I thought to myself, when I was a kid and I used to be in that cart or pushing the cart and shopping with my dad, I would see them and I would go, how lucky somebody can be to actually get a box with 5 different of your favorite potato chips, all in little bags.
And remember, too, those little hugs.
Oh.
We pass out little hugs all the time. You don't see them as often anymore.
Listen, give me a nice candy bar and an ice cold Coca-Cola. I'm gold, baby. All right, we got lots of calls. Let's keep it going. Let's go to Keith in Moon. Keith, you're on KDKA. Good morning.
Rob, Frank, miss big old Spooky Joe, but still love the show.
I gotta tell you, if I was only late one time, and that was the last time, and I saw Spooky Joe that day, and I'll never forget. I was never ever. I was like 10 minutes late to do a TV show. And I was never late again.
Well, then you drove in the car with him. You know why he's not late.
And he was Spooky Joe driving. It was like driving at the Indianapolis 500. God rest his soul. We miss him. All right, Keith, what's on your mind, buddy?
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't really eat much candy anymore, but back in the day, there wasn't many things I wouldn't eat candy-wise. But who in the heck ever liked black licorice?
I hate to say it, man. I did. I love black licorice. I love cherry licorice. I love every type of licorice. I could eat licorice every single day. And I got to tell you, there was a time that I lived on these things, and anybody who knows me will remember in the late 90s, I got on this Swedish fish kick.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith and Frank, I tell you the truth. I had in my car the big box I'd split that plastic down the middle, put it in the passenger seat because I was always on the road. I would eat handful after handful after handful. The person that really appreciated it more than anyone was my dentist.
Oh, yeah. See, we used to go, my mom would take us shopping with her, and we go to Kaufman's. And when you went to Kaufman's, they had like the candy counters there, chocolate and all that. And she always bought, that's how you got them. They weren't in the grocery store, the Swedish fish. And so she'd always grab Swedish fish, and we'd split those on the way home. They were delicious. Now, if I eat them, then they start to have a weird aftertaste. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't taste like gasoline. I eat too many of them.
It's different.
And I lost my taste for them. But they used to be like the best gummy candy, really.
Absolutely.
That was pre-gummy bears.
Way pre-gummy bears. All right. Hey, thank you for the call, Keith. Now, see, there's two kinds. You got the larger fish, like the carp, okay? They're big. Then you got the minnows. The minnow ones, the smaller ones that come in that yellow box with the red Swedish fish. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones you want. And I got to tell you, I used to like them when you go to work in the morning if they were in the car all night.
They got that hard chew
right.
to them.
Listen, can you imagine 4 o'clock in the morning, me coming to work, eating handfuls of Swedish fish? I loved them, going on about an hour's worth of sleep. All right, listen, stay with us. We've got lots of folks that want to talk about. I knew this would be a big hit. I mean, everybody loves Halloween, and I can't urge you enough. Don't go anywhere else. Get to Coons Market. Head there today. I was in there all day Friday. We got tons of stuff in Hopewell, all of our stores, the best pricing anywhere. You're never going to find the selection that you're going to find at Coons Market. And after all, Coons Market is locally owned and independently operated. Coons Market, your neighborhood grocer. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition. Now, coming up next hour, Troy Lampenfeld is here, and he, of course, representing Greater Pitt Tree Service. Get ready with all of your tree questions, and we're going to continue with oak tree pruning, which is very popular this time of year. 10 o'clock, Accurate Solutions. 11 o'clock to kick off Black and Gold Sunday. Walt Harris, former coach of the University of Pittsburgh, also Jerry Schmidt of Duquesne, will be on the show. And we pick our weekly winners against the spread Week 8 as the Steelers get ready to take on the Packers tonight. Sunday Night Football at Accushore Stadium.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like Bill from Mars. Bill's neuropathy got so bad he couldn't sleep due to the pain and was losing his balance, causing him to have frequent falls. Then Bill found Tri-State Neuropathy Centers. Their effective FDA-approved treatment program greatly improved Bill's neuropathy, and now he's sleeping through the night, can feel his feet again, and has no more pain. Listen to Bill's complete story at marydanston.com. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help Bill along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-979-3168. 800-979-3168. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-979-3168.
While you sleep, there are people you've never met who are working hard to make your morning. People who get up at ungodly hours to make sure you get the information you want while you sleep. People who dedicate their lives to make yours better while you sleep. These people come together during the Big K Morning Show with Larry Richard, 5:30 to 10 in the morning, to make sure you have the best news, traffic, and weather to start your day. Wake up to your friends. Weekday mornings on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 34 degrees Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A man is in the hospital this morning after he fell from the main scoreboard at Agershire Stadium. The man fell 50 feet down to a catwalk area. This happened on Saturday night. The man suffered serious injuries to his lower body. He's in critical condition at a hospital. A toddler is in the hospital after being struck by a vehicle Saturday night in Homewood. It happened around 9 o'clock on Monticello Street. The boy's in serious but stable condition at the hospital. It's unclear if charges will be filed against that driver. Also in Homewood, Pittsburgh police investigating after a man was found shot in the buttocks along Idlewild Street, the 8400 block. Police say a man was taken to the hospital. The alleged suspect ran away on foot. Right now, no word on that man who was shot and taken to the hospital. One person has died, 6 others hurt in a shooting incident at Lincoln University. The shooting happened Saturday night around 8:45 in the 1500 block of Baltimore Pike near the school's football field. It's homecoming week for the university, which is an hour west of Philadelphia. Police say that one person is in custody. That person was found with a gun. No word on if charges will be filed against that person. Actress June Lockhart has died of natural causes in her home in Santa Monica, California. She was 100 years old. Here's CBS News correspondent Elise Preston.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you.
June Lockhart was one of the original TV moms. In the 1950s as Ruth Martin in Lassie, and in the 60s and 70s on Lost in Space.
Did you locate Dad?
And Petticoat Junction. Lockhart attracted a new generation of fans for her voice work in the hit 90s cartoon Ren and Stimpy.
Well, aren't you boys sweet?
Lockhart is survived by 2 daughters and also leaves behind a legendary Hollywood career. Elise Preston, CBS News, Los Angeles.
KDKA Radio News Time is 8:32. In KDKA Sports, it's a Steelers Sunday, prime time. Steelers take on the Green Bay Packers. It's Aaron Rodgers' return. Or Aaron Rodgers, his first time playing the Green Bay Packers as a member of another team. This time, the Steelers. KDKA Radio News Time, as mentioned, 8:32. The AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Look for sunshine today with a few clouds at times and a high of 58. Then a clear sky for much of the time tonight and a low of 37 leads to a generally nice day for tomorrow with sunshine, a few clouds once again, and a high again reaching 58, leading to a cooler Tuesday but still featuring sunshine, high 55. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
We got it all for you. Comfort food like these game day, delicious Italian rolls, perfect for sausage or meatballs. Right now, 6-count package, $4 each. Don't forget, hey, I always bring mine. Bring your Coons reward card if you're heading there today to get some Halloween candy or getting ready for the big game tonight. Here's Howie in Vanport. Howie, welcome to the show, and it's good to have you back on KDK. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Rob. After making 2 trips to the hospital since I last saw you.
Are you what happened?
I had double pneumonia twice.
Oh, so you're on the mend now?
Yeah, I'm doing better now.
Good. Well, take care of yourself.
Noah cups.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Noah Cup also made a candy bar called a peanut butter smoothie.
Was that a candy bar?
Yeah.
Wow. Now Mallow Cups, that was kind of like the cheaper version of
they had
Reese's.
Boyer that has them. They had a smoothie Reese's cup. Yeah.
Oh, that's what he's talking about?
It's still around. You don't see it. Like, they have it, but it's hard to find distributors for it. Because I tried it before at a show, and it was delicious.
So, you've always lived in Van Buren Homes. When you did that whole trick-or-treat thing, but you didn't have to go very far, did you?
No, you could cover 400 homes in about 2 hours.
400 homes in 2 hours. You got to love that. You got to love that. Howie, good hearing from you. Please take care of yourself. You know where I'm at if you need me, buddy. I'm glad you're doing better. Let's go to Marlene, talking favorite Halloween candy and comfort food at Marlene in South Hills. Marlene, you're on KDK with your Pratt Pack. Good morning.
Thank you guys for taking my call. I need Frank to tell Jody I appreciate her. She had on sale the Progressive Soup, $1.50 a can. Now, those huge cans for $1.50, you don't get that anywhere. Anyhow, in our neighborhood, there was this one lady. She always made the popcorn balls. None of us liked the popcorn balls. And she'd see us crossing the street, and she'd call us over by our names because she knew our sizes and that. And I also liked the 3-cent lunch bars, the green package. You remember those?
I don't, but we've talked about it many times through the years, and I guess it was a phenomenally famous candy bar.
But I'll tell you, she helped my budget. I just want to tell you guys, thank you for helping us people that, and soup. Who don't like soup when you come home from work and everything? So that is really great. So you guys have a great Halloween. God bless us all and take care. Thank you so much.
Let's see another example, Frank. We talk about, this whole thing, this thought process of grocery prices on the uptick. There are so many ways to save. Coons Reward Card, double coupons, weekly specials, essential every day are private labels. So people just need to understand we're doing everything to get you what you need and also make it affordable, right?
Right, and it takes work. We have to work with manufacturers when your deal's coming up so we can get these out to the customers. If you have something that you want to go, like she mentioned the Progressive Soup, we have that coming up again here this coming Wednesday for the protein and the vegetable classic soups from Progresso. So take another look. There'll be 2 for $3 again, and another great deal coming up. And that's just us doing the work. The vendors aren't going to come to you a lot of times when they have these special deals that can't go to the big box stores, but they can come down with the volume where our volume is, so they can handle it, and just keep hitting them up for what do you got, what can I do, and then watching our markets for our fresh products like the produce departments and the meat departments. Really just watching that market to see where future contracts are going. Meat in particular is affected by a lot of things. the fuel costs for transportation, for live animals, they got to get the feed, so it's relying on the soybean market and the corn market and the grain market, the wheat, and really following those markets too. So a lot really affects it, and including weather and produce the same way with weather and transportation, and what's worth planting. These tariffs indirectly affect the produce, when you're talking like soybeans and corn and grains because of what we export. So if they can't get the exports out, then they're going to be planting less, which is when they plant less is going to drive up the cost because you're either importing it to the rest, or they don't have, or they got to increase their price because there's less supply out there. So there's a lot involved and a lot of work going behind that. And we got some of the best in the industry that we're really working together in our company to find these things out and be able to give that price conscious customer, which is pretty much 99% of the customers, really watching their budgets, and to be able to get them the best price out there.
All right, favorite Halloween candy bar. Good couple of segments. We've got one more segment left, so get on the phone and give us a call. Also, favorite comfort foods this time of year. 866-391-1020. Here's Chuck in Shaler. Hey, Chuck.
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Before I give you my recipe, I will tell you what my unfavorite candy is circus peanuts and them Naco wafers.
See, I've been hoping those would get discontinued. Yeah, they're terrible.
Well, listen, I've got to come to the defense for my beautiful children's grandmother who loves them, and I still love the circus peanuts. And hey, all I can say is to each his own, but I still have a special place. Now, my teeth can't handle them as they once did. That sugar hits them, and everybody kind of starts running in a different direction. But back in the day, I could, and the great thing about them, if you're on your bike pedaling and you don't have a lot of, hand movement, you get about 6 or 7, and you put both hands together and you squash them into one. And that's why you can kind of savor the flavor all day. Circus peanuts. I haven't heard that name in forever. Those little orange circus peanuts that are nothing but marshmallows injected with pounds of sugar. So good memory for me anyway. What else, Chuck?
So I'm off this week, so I don't really have much planned. So I told my wife we're going to make some stuffed cabbage. Because usually we either pick it up from Coons, because it's just a lot of work, or we'll make it the unstuffed version in a crock pot, which is a lot easier.
Yeah.
But today, or this week, I'm going to make stuffed cabbage the real way. Or as we called it, gołąbki in Polish when I was a kid. Was going to have gołąbki and mashed potatoes for dinner.
I love stuffed cabbage.
Listen, you must be, I don't know, you must be a mind reader or something, but, gołąbki, my beautiful ex-wife, Polish, her grandmother, her mother, and they would have that on Christmas Eve. And it just sounded like different, and I got to tell you, it was absolutely incredible. So you got to tell me one more time, how do you make this gołąbki?
So you get a head of cabbage.
Okay.
Take the core out.
Okay.
Put it in a pot of water. Fill it all the way up to the top of the cabbage. You bring it to a boil, and then you back it down and let it simmer for a little bit because you want to get the cabbage leaves nice and soft.
Right.
Okay, and then you get a pound of ground meat. You get an onion, dice that up, a little bit of salt and pepper, an egg, and you mix that all together. And some people put different spices in there. I usually put like a little extra onion because we like onions at our house. And you mix that all up. Then you drain the cabbage, let it cool off a little bit. Pull the leaves off, cut the tough end parts off, the little like veins at the end. And you just roll them up. They call them pigs in a blanket. You roll them up real nice.
Yep.
And lay them out in a tray, put some sauce on there, and let them cook in the oven. I'm trying to think, about an hour and 15, hour and a half to slow, and just good.
It is good. I never understood.
You got to make homemade mashed potatoes with them.
You have to.
Homemade mashed potatoes and extra sauce.
You mix it with that. That sauce mixes in those mashed potatoes and gives a great taste. But I never understood the pigs in a blanket, just because there's no pork in it. I
don't know where that comes from.
Maybe some of the pork gets missed there. I always made it with beef.
Well, it's like grape leaves. There's no grapes in there either. Here's the
but the leaf is like grape leaf.
Chicken.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Chicken. There's no chicken.
Well, listen, I got to back up.
Yeah, true.
I got to back up here, gentlemen, because now I know why she probably got rid of me, because I kind of screwed up. I know gołąbki. I've heard that, and I know they made that. But Christmas Eve, it was bobalki. That's the name of it. Do you have any idea what bobalki is? Have you ever heard that?
Dumpling. They're almost like a dumpling.
So you know what it is.
Bicky, we sell them for people to make. It's almost like it's a dough ball basically. Baked off, you put it in soups or stews or whatever.
I was always watching my weight, but I got to tell you, I had a 1, and it was absolutely to melt in your mouth. Bubałki.
No, I'm sure they make big ones or small. We use little small ones that they make at the Beulah store because they have a following.
So is it like a pierogi, or no?
It's literally dough.
That's about
it's baked like a piece, but it's small. The ones we do now, people make them at home. I'm sure there's all kind of recipes like a dumpling, similar to it. To me, it was like a dumpling.
Yes, sir.
You said a couple of weeks ago, you was talking when I called in, you was talking about a UPS driver that worked there 40 years. Where did you see that at?
I saw it on social media. They were just celebrating this guy's retirement.
Yeah, because 40 years is the only the only people I stayed at my place made it 40 years was they finished off inside. He finished off on road. I tip my hat off to him because that's a lot.
Well, he was standing by a truck, and I really like UPS and FedEx and the United States Postal Service because I know how hard you men and women work, and I always take time to salute you whenever I can. And I just saw it on social media, and he was kind of his last day after 40 years that he was by a truck. Now, I don't know if he was in that truck the whole time, but hey, 40 years at any job is pretty impressive. How many do you have under your belt now?
A little over 38 and a half.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, I started March of 87. A couple of the guys, they took the buyout this summer. That's why there was a lot of retirements. And it was hard to pass up.
How much longer are you going to go?
I don't know. You know what? I know I'm going to at least work till April or May for sure because I'll be 59 and a half in April, and I'm going to go down to Secure Money Advisors and finish off my plan so I know exactly where I'm sitting at.
You're still a young guy.
Yeah, but...
No, but I'm just saying, that's great. My dad retired at 58, and I still wonder how he did it. I'm only working because I got nowhere else to go, and I actually still like what I do. But, man, if you can get out at 59, that's good.
Yeah, there's nobody there left that has more time than me. Inside, drivers, supervisors, they all left.
Well, listen,
too much on your body.
One thing my dad did enjoy was his week off, and here you are getting ready to have an entire week off. So, quickly, before I go to break, what are your plans for this week? Anything special?
Well, today we're going to Coons. We got to go shopping, and then I got to get ready for Halloween, clean up the yard because I grill hot dogs for the kids for Halloween.
Wow.
They love it.
Nice. That's nice, man.
And they get candy too. They get candy.
Jeez, I'm coming to your house.
And if I know the parents, I have beers in the cooler. Give the parents a beer.
Oh, that's good. I used to do the same thing, man. That's a good thing. Well, listen, Chuck, you're one of our favorites, buddy. Stay safe. Enjoy your week off. Well-deserved. And call back. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, thanks. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Yeah, I used to do that too, man. I'd always give the adults a...
Yeah, the past few years when we were still in the neighborhood we would put the fire pit down by the road and then hand out candy down by the road.
Well, can I tell you something? There will be a day in his family's life that someone will say, yeah, I remember him. He used to serve hot dogs on Halloween. Yeah, I'm telling you that.
Yeah, there's days you affect people that remember you forever. Like yesterday I was telling you about that. We had the birthday party at the stable, and kids coming to ride a horse. And they'll remember that one day for the rest of their life.
I know.
Something special when you go out. And when you go to Halloween, I still remember from going to Halloween, every time the one house always gave you a toothbrush. And as silly as that sounds, that's where my toothbrush came every single year.
Can't beat it.
When they moved, where am I going to get a toothbrush now?
Can't beat it, man. Can't beat it. All right, short break. We'll come back. More of your calls on the other side. Next hour, Troy Lampenfeld. He is a certified arborist, and he works for Greater Pitt Tree Service, Oak Tree Pruning, and then it's Accurate Solutions, and then the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
What will you do when your home loses power? Stop waiting for the utility company to restore power. Prevent unpredictable outages with a standby Honeywell home generator by Generac from AirPro Heating and Cooling. Control your home's power and protect your family from power disruptions, unsafe situations, and inconvenience. Call someone you know. Call the home generator experts at AirPro Heating and Cooling today. 800-749-0642. Learn how easy and affordable home power protection is from your friends at AirPro. Pro.
Have you been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer? You may qualify for a clinical trial studying an investigational therapy designed to activate your immune system to fight cancer throughout the body. If your prostate cancer has spread and you've received prior hormone therapy, you may be eligible. Take the next step in your fight. Visit Legion100trial.com to learn more or call 1-888-636-5344. That's Legion100trial.com or 1-888-636-5344.
Hey folks, Bill Hillgrove here. I've called a lot of plays in my day, but here's one you probably didn't see coming. I got a reverse mortgage. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Bill, did you just give your house to the bank? Nope, my house is still mine. I just made it start paying me for a change. I worked with Federated Reverse Mortgage right here in Pittsburgh. Craig Schweiger has been serving local families for over 35 years. Extra income for everyday living, medical needs, or simply peace of mind. They made the whole process simple, stress-free, and dare I say, kind of enjoyable. There's no catch. You stay in your home and you use the equity you've built to take the pressure off. So if you're 62 or older, or if you're the adult child wondering how to help mom or dad, don't wait. Call Federated Reverse Mortgage at 833-888-0801 or visit fedreverse.com. Tell Craig I sent you. Equal housing lender. Reverse mortgages are subject to eligibility.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, right back at it. A couple of minutes left. Let's go to Bobby on the north side. M&M's. Oh, I love M&M's. How are you, Bobby?
Oh, M&M's. I'm good. How are you, gentlemen?
We are great.
Great.
Well, thanks. And I was hoping that you'd give me some help. I was telling Alonzo I used to like, and I still do, candy that I never ate a whole candy bar at one time. I used to cut it up. So I tended to prefer those ones where you could get a box and put in your pocket or a bag and put in your pocket and enjoy it like, for a couple hours. Pop in 4 M&Ms in my mouth, 4 the next time. But there used to be a candy. Excuse me, I cannot think of the name of it. They used to have it in the movie theaters, too. But they had them in candy stores. They had them in the checkout. It was like a white box with green mint sprigs, and it was small mints, somewhere between the size of a nickel and a quarter. And they were soft. They were minty. They not like a York mint. They were harder. But these were covered in chocolate with a mint center. And you put them in your mouth, and they would just melt. And I cannot remember the name of them.
No, those are Andes.
Yeah, Andes candies. They're the after-dinner mints that they also have in some restaurant. They just make them right down the road, 22,
there was
30.
those, and there's also Junior Mints.
Yes.
Junior Mints.
There
it
is.
Junior Mints.
Yeah, because they had the theater boxes. Yeah, we still sell those.
That's it. There you go.
That's it. Oh, I love those, and they make your mouth feel so fresh.
They are good.
They are good.
They are. I know exactly, because you can, those are the kind you can put a handful.
All right. I'll tell you, I got 1 minute left. Pete, less than a minute. All yours. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Rob. I'll tell you what, my favorite one was Powerhouse, the large bars.
I loved them.
Remember those? And back in the 70s, we used to go out Halloween in with the big pillowcase, and you get all these big bars. That was my favorite.
But here's the problem. That was yesterday, big bars. Now it's small bars. Everything is small now. But You buy 2 or 3, you get the same thrill. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back, draw this week's winner. But don't forget, best selection of candy, snacks, treats, baked goods. And for you adults, for the big game tonight, we've got 600 varieties of your favorite beers, microbrews, craft beers, and more. Great wine selection as well. No one does it better. Finger Food to Go, our Cafe McKnight Road and Banksville Road. Back to draw this week's winner on KDKA with your Pratt Pack next.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Heard us talk about downtown regenerating, business, attracting, expansion. Founding partner and CEO, Walnut Capital, Todd Reardboard.
As we all know, the whole AI revolution that's encompassing the country and the world is accelerated pace. And we need to keep pace with that to be competitive with everybody. And we're optimistic about the future.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Hey, construction pros, your team at Foundation Software is here. What's something you never want to be told? You're over budget. Get your projects back on track with Foundation Construction Accounting Software. For more than 40 years, contractors have chosen Foundation to improve job costing, reporting, payroll, and more with one complete platform. Don't let overruns ruin your bottom line. Visit FoundationSoft.com. That's FoundationSoft.com. FoundationSoft.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Imagine growing up without seeing a ball game, visiting a museum, or exploring a zoo. For thousands of kids in our community, the cost of admission makes these experiences impossible. Tickets for Kids changes that, donating tickets to under-resourced youth through schools and social service agencies. Learn more at ticketsforkids.org. Odyssey listeners, pull up to Cuddy's Soul Food, located in Lawrence Hall, Butler Street in Lawrenceville, where the flavor hits like your favorite beat. Fried chicken, greens, mac and cheese, it's all love all day. Cuddy's Soul Food, soul on a plate. Feeling lucky? Then take a seat at Rivers Casino. Play your favorite table game for a chance at $250 every half hour from 7 to 11 p.m. on October 23rd and 30th. Visit riverscasino.com for more information.
Details at KDKARadio.com.
Get ready to roll. Bocce House of Pittsburgh officially open and all month long. It's open play. That means free play on the bocce courts. Come experience Pittsburgh's newest social destination, featuring memberships, a luxury cigar lounge, and league play for all skill levels. So grab some friends, enjoy delicious food, and pour yourself a drink at our self-pour bar system. The Bocce House of Pittsburgh, where good food, great drinks, and even better company meet on the court. So visit theboccehouse.com for all the details.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, before we get Troy Lampenfeld in here and do a little oak tree pruning, Greater Pitt Tree Service, it is time to draw this week's winner of that $25 gift certificate. And the winner is...
This week's winner is Bobby on the north side.
All right, remind folks, when it comes to candy and everything you need for Halloween, we've got it. Frank, go ahead.
Yeah, we got it. We got it all. You know, whether you need to get hot dogs to cook for the kids, or you need to go to the cafe to pick up some six-pack for the adults walking around with the kids, or, you know, or your favorite Halloween candies, we have it all. Even if you want to do some candy apples, you're having people over just for a Halloween party the day before, or before you go trick-or-treating, it's nice candy apples. We have the caramel. We have the apples. We have the candy coating. If you wanted the candy, we have the M&Ms. If you want to roll it in chocolate and M&Ms, we have it all. And it's a good time to get out there and get some extra, start stocking up on your soup, start stocking up on some of those comfort foods that we're going to be making as the chillier days are coming. And enjoying the fall weather and just the fall atmosphere in the stores is just a great time.
I'll tell you, nothing better than being in the parking lot at AccuSure Stadium with some Kingsford charcoal, an ice-cold Iron City, Silver Star hot dog, and then it's on to victory. So remember, everything you need for the big game tonight, we have everything at one of those locally owned and independently operated Coons Market, that neighborhood market, Coons Market, a Pittsburgh, and yes, a football tradition. And don't forget Wingtopia today, game day. Tell him, Frank.
$5.99 a pound for chicken wings as long as you use your Coons reward card today on every Steeler game and every Wednesday.
News at 9. Frank, have a great rest of your day.
Have a great day.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 36 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A man is in the hospital after he fell from the main scoreboard at AccuSure Stadium. This happened Saturday night. He fell 50 feet down to a catwalk area. He suffered severe injuries to his lower body. Right now he's in critical condition at a hospital. A toddler's in the hospital after being struck by a vehicle Saturday night in a Homewood. It happened around 9 o'clock on Saturday night on Monticello Street. That boy is in serious but stable condition right now at the hospital. It's unclear if charges will be filed against the driver. Also in Homewood, Pittsburgh police are investigating after a man was found shot in the buttocks area along Idlewild Street. It happened around 8:45 Saturday night. That man was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition. No word on any suspect descriptions. Well, a man is dead after he was struck by a vehicle in Westmoreland County. Happened Saturday morning around 6:30 in the 800 block of Rostraver Road in Rostraver Township. The man who was struck, 52-year-old Darren Snyder of Monessen, died at the scene. Driver of the vehicle that struck Snyder remained on the scene and was cooperating with investigators. Well, as everyone knows, discussing politics can lead to vehement disagreements, but wait until you start discussing food. News Radio KDK's David Ballarado has more.
A study by YouGov looked at foods and what divides Americans. For example, is a hot dog a sandwich? 53% of Americans say no. And while most age groups agree, those over 65 tend not to. Only 23% say a hamburger isn't a sandwich. And what about coleslaw? Is that a salad? 67% say it is, but 25% say no. The other 8%'s not sure. And while Americans are split on pineapple on pizza, they're not as divided about having it the next day. 65% say leftover pizza is best served warm, while only 28% like it cold. And as far as having a bowl of cereal goes, 93% pour the cereal in the bowl first, but there's a growing number of 18 to 29-year-olds who put the milk in the bowl first. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
KDK Radio News Time 9:03. The AccuWeather forecast coming up.
With the kids back in school, now's the perfect time to refresh your home before the holidays. Larry Richard for Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory, your local experts in custom drapery, blind, shade, shutters, and motorized window treatments. Get your home holiday ready with Lachina's free shop-at-home service and expert design advice. Visit Lachina's Dormont and Wexford showrooms or online at lachinadrapery.com. Call Lachina today, 412-665-4900. Lachina Drapery, where style meets family tradition.
What does living your best nonstop life mean to you? Cheering on your team at that big game? A music festival with friends? A family vacation? Or maybe a vacation from your family? Live your best nonstop life with low fares and nonstop flights only at Allegiant.com.
Non-stop flights from Pittsburgh to Sarasota Bradenton, one way for as low as $57. Must be purchased by 12/3/2025 for travel between 10/28/2025 and 5/17/2026. Seats and dates limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine much of the time, on the way up to a high of 58, followed by a generally clear sky tonight and a low of 37. Tomorrow looks rather similar, with sunshine for much of the time and a high again reaching 58 before it turns a bit cooler on Tuesday, but still generally sunny with a high of 55. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Hey, when I heard this young man for the first time, I knew he knew exactly what this business was all about when it comes to taking care of your trees. He is a certified arborist, Troy Lampenfeld. He works for Carlos Greater Pitt Tree Service. And we're talking oak tree pruning. It's a significant thing you need to do this time of year as we're getting ready to roll into that month of November next weekend. So before we do anything, I want you to understand that this hour is all about you getting questions answered in real time about oak tree pruning and anything in the way of trees. This is a chance to talk to the guy. Plant care, health care when it comes to trees, your backyard, that landscape that you invest so much in of your time and money. So if you want to get a question in for our certified arborist, Troy Lampenfeld, now is the time to call. 866-391-1020. 866-391-1020. So without further ado, here he is, and I'll give you their number throughout the hour. You can call today, leave your name and number, and they will get back to you during business hours. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. So, Troy, great to have you back. The obvious question before we get into a bunch of questions is why now for oak trees is pruning the best time? Good morning.
Rob, good morning. Awesome to be back. Always is. Oak trees, yeah, the timing is very important on this one. It's one of those things that nature has a very specific plan as to when things are appropriate and when things aren't. And, you know, when we're kind of meddling with things, you definitely want to make sure you're doing it at the right time for oak trees. The reason for that is kind of manifold. So for one, you want to make sure you're preventing, disease infiltration into your trees. If you're pruning an oak tree in the middle of the summer, or if you're pruning an oak tree in spring, late spring, you're putting that tree at extreme risk for the development of oak wilt and the development of a variety of other diseases that the tree is just not, designed to be basically pruned during that time. It can be really, really negative for the tree. Generally, you can lose a tree in one season to oak wilt. A tree that's 100 years old, if you prune it in the middle of the summer and you meddle the wrong way, you can end up taking that tree out a year or two down the line, and that's a massive loss and a bit of a massive cost as well sometimes on these really, really big oak trees. But the timeline that we want to stick to generally, and it varies a little bit year to year based on the weather, is the dormant season for the tree. And the reason for that, like I said, is the prevention of oak wilt. And when we're looking at why that is prevented by pruning during this timeline, for one thing, the vectors of that disease are not active during that time, right? So all these beetles that are boring insects that are attracted to pruning wounds, these different types of insects that are going to carry fungus that cause oak wilt, are not going to be active during the timeline that we're looking at in the dormant season, which is somewhere around mid to late November into very early March is basically the timeline that you have to get this done. So we are right on the deadline before we start our pruning season. We're getting right up to it, which is very exciting for me. I love doing oak trees, honestly. It's one of our biggest and main services in general. It's we have so many oak trees in Pittsburgh, and taking care of them brings me a lot of joy. I really enjoy seeing our guys do a good job on pruning for a mature oak, trying to keep these large, like valuable ornamental or valuable shade trees, rather, just intact for the city. And we do a ton of them, and I really do think we do a great job on them. But, yeah, the pruning timeline has to be during the dormant season for the tree. That is imperative. When you're looking at, a couple other things in terms of what pruning should look like, for one thing, you want to avoid, if possible, taking really, really large limbs off the tree. Obviously, sometimes it does have to happen if you haven't had a proper pruning plan, basically, for the tree in the past, and it's encroaching on buildings or something like that where it's dangerous. But in most cases, you want to avoid taking off major limbs off the tree just because you're going to leave a big, big wound, right? Anytime that we're pruning a tree, we're leaving wounds on that tree that the tree is responsible for covering over and, not literally, but in effect healing from, right? So recovering from that pruning, you do want to make sure that you're leaving that tree the best case scenario, the best possible chances of recovering from that without any stress. So when we come out and we do an oak pruning, we're going through there and we're making very meticulous and detailed cuts on smaller limbs at a higher volume, basically, a lot of smaller limbs as opposed to a few really large limbs. And you end up taking about the same amount of mass out of the tree, just in different ways. So you do want to make sure that the way that you do this is proper, because otherwise you're going to institute decay into the tree. You're going to potentially get some disease problems in the tree. And you might end up losing something that you cannot plant. These big oak trees around the city, especially the more mature ones, in places like, Swickley, Squirrel Hill, Shadyside, all these places with these beautiful mature trees that have been here for a long time, some of them over 100 years in the city. You really want to be careful about the way you maintain them, because if you're kind of, going half speed on this and you just kind of take whatever's going to come your way in terms of pruning, and somebody comes out and hacks a bunch of limbs off, it can cause some really serious damage, especially based on the timing. So making sure the timing is accurate, but also making sure that the way that you're making those cuts and the way that you're actively going through and doing the work is up to standard, up to, for our industry, there's what's called the ANSI, A-N-S-I, American National Standards Institute. The ANSI standards for pruning basically give us a good guideline as professionals to do large and mature tree pruning in a way that is going to be beneficial for the trees and is going to be safe on a day-to-day basis, so that we're practicing all of the best management practices in the industry to make sure that when we come out to your property, for one thing, everybody's going home safe, and we're doing everything that we can to make this dangerous industry a lot safer. And for another thing, those trees are going to be better off when we leave than, when we got there. That's not always the case with pruning. A lot of people that, and I'm not speaking poorly on anybody, but a lot of people don't know quite what they're doing when they're pruning. And a lot of the time they're doing more harm than good. So the way that you do it makes a huge, huge difference, along with that timeline, Rob.
All right, now listen, this is the deal. We want you to call in and get all of your oak tree questions answered, or anything about your tree. So all of our lines are available. Troy is here until 10 o'clock. We got him back. Carlos enjoying the weekend off. So give us a call, 866-391-1020. And if you want to set up an appointment, you want to cut right to the chase, you can call this number right now. Leave your first and last name and a working number. They can reach you throughout the week, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. But that key number today, right now, real time, to get those questions answered, to see where you stand, 866-391-1020. All right, let me get a break in here. We'll come back. Lots more to get to with Troy Lampenfeld. He, of course, works for Carlos at Greater Pitt Tree Service, and we're giving you the opportunity to talk about the wide open spaces, your garden spot of the world, that little place you call home that you work so hard for and pay a whole lot for, so you want to make sure this stuff stays happy, healthy, and safe. Your tree questions right now, 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020, or you can call them to set up an appointment, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Troy Lampenfeld, Greater Pitt Tree Service. Back with more in a moment. Your Pratt Pack on a Sunday morning at KDKA.
Your source for everything that's news. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Is it just me, or has watching television gotten way more complicated than it used to be? There are a million different services, lots of stuff you want to watch but can never find, and don't get me started on the bills. Well, thankfully there's Philo, a better way to TV. For as low as $33 a month, I get the channels I love, MTV, BET, Food Network, you name it, plus everything that AMC Plus has to offer. And guess what? They've added access to HBO Max Basic with ads plan and Discovery Plus, so I can enjoy all the best TV with one subscription. The best part? There are no contracts, no surprise fees, and just one low price. And their DVR is awesome too. I can save everything I love on Philo for up to a year and skip the ads when I rewatch them. That's a total game changer. I signed up directly at philo.tv. That's philo.tv, so I could lock in the best price around. Philo's the easiest decision I've ever made. Now the hard one is trying to decide what to binge next.
We're all human with the same insecurities, doubting ourselves, thinking we're not worthy or good enough, believing those negative thoughts we think. Stop! Every last one of us is good enough to be the best version of ourselves. This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. Come to me and together we'll change that way of thinking. Excess pounds will come off, you'll feel and look better, and thoughts will become positive. If you want to change, just call me at 1-800-900-THIN.
Indulge your senses with the perfect blend of wine, music, and dining at City Winery in the Strip District Terminal. Enjoy live performances from legendary artists and local favorites in an intimate listening room designed for an unforgettable concert experience. Savor locally sourced food and award-winning wine, all in a setting that brings music and flavor together like never before. Whether it's a night out with friends or a special occasion, make it memorable. Reserve your table now at citywinery.com/Pittsburgh.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we're back with Troy Lampenfeld, Greater Pitt Tree Service. He, of course, works with our buddy Carlos, and we're talking oak tree pruning or anything in the way of trees. The number to dial is 866-391-1020. And here's Mike in Washington for Troy Lampenfeld, our certified arborist of Greater Pitt Tree Service. Mike, good morning and welcome to KDK. What's your question?
Good morning. I have, it's not an oak tree, I'm sorry, but it's a silver maple. It's about 45 feet high. Is this a good time of year to have you guys come out and trim that down about half the size, just in case it falls on my house?
Well, this would be a great time to come out and get that tree pruned, but I will say trimming down about half the size, I would never recommend topping a tree, okay? So I know that might not be what you want to hear, but this is what I'll say to you. When you top a tree and you reduce it by that really serious amount, you're actually increasing the likelihood of failure in the future. So you'll top it, it'll grow back way faster than it would have initially. You'll get really large, heavy, weighty limbs up towards the top, and they'll be attached to really poorly attached, basically branch attachment points. You'll have a lot of decay in there, and they'll be way more likely to cause you damage. What you want to do to prevent failure on a tree that's large, especially like a silver maple that compartmentalizes poorly, what you want to do is take weight away from the ends and do tip weight reduction on the canopy, basically, and prune out anything that seems like it's going to be poorly attached to begin with. Making a proper plan for that type of tree to make sure that it's safe in the future is the difference between having that tree another 70, 80 years sitting there or longer, or potentially basically having that tree either fail sooner or be taken out altogether. So I would definitely recommend having myself or another certified arborist from our company come out and check you out, basically see what we can get you in terms of a pruning plan that's going to make you safer, make that tree happier. And I think right now is a great time to do it. We are moving into oak pruning season, so we're going to be, booking up pretty soon, but we still have a couple of weeks left before we're fully in that season. So I would recommend giving us a call at the office and getting set up as soon as possible.
Okay, terrific. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, Mike. Good stuff. Keep them coming, folks. 866-391-1020. So let's go back to, so you do the pruning this year to prevent this oak wilt, which comes through like April to June is when it's at its peak. My question to you is, say if somebody does get it between April through June, can you stop it, correct it, fix it, or is it almost impossible to stop oak wilt when it's at its height, its peak of the season? Troy.
So there's a couple of things about this, actually. So we do preventative treatments for oak wilt on trees. If you remember, we had that big storm at the end of April this year. I'm sure, it was hard to forget. But that big storm tore apart a lot of really mature trees, really put some huge wounds on them right in the start of the summer, which is not a good time to have that going on. So on trees that had those types of big wounds, we were doing basically preventative injections of a fungicide that manages that disease, that manages oak wilt. So doing a preventative injection just straight into the root collar of the tree, basically the root flare of the tree, you want to get that in there if there's any kind of damage, or if you had somebody come out and prune your tree early in the year and you weren't aware of this at the time, it's not your fault there. It's a lot of the time it's kind of the professional's responsibility to educate you on this type of stuff. But if that's the case, you definitely want to either have the tree treated for preventative oak wilt management, or if the tree has started to show symptoms, then you've got a little bit of a problem here. So there's two families of oak trees in general, like two main families, I would say. There's red oaks and there's white oaks. Red oaks including a northern red oak, a pin oak, and a black oak, and white oaks including like chickapin oaks, swamp white oaks, and bur oaks and white oaks, things like that. If you're looking at a red oak, which we can help you out with what's what. You don't need to be an expert on identification, but if you're looking at your oak tree and it's been pruned during the summer and now it's starting to show a couple of negative signs where you're losing leaves, or it's starting to droop through the canopy, or it's starting to yellow in the middle of summer and all these different things. If it's a red oak and there's any symptoms at all, it's a very low chance that we're going to be able to save that tree. It gets extremely tricky once the tree is symptomatic. The success rate on that goes way, way down. On a white oak, you can have up to 30% loss of the canopy. So 30% of that whole canopy you can have lost to this disease already. And we can get in there and still have a pretty good chance of treating that tree and getting it back into good shape with oak wilt injections, basically. It has some curative properties, you would say, when we're looking at that type of infection. So the species of tree definitely matters. The timing and the way that you do the pruning definitely matters. But when you're looking at these trees, if they've had exposure to that, whether it be from storm damage or from pruning, or let's say you're running over the roots with a lawnmower all summer, there's definitely some chance that oak wilt could be a huge problem there. So you do want to get somebody out. I'd be happy to come out myself and check out basically if a preventative oak wilt injection is gonna look to be the right thing for you. And a lot of the times it will be. If you do have multiple oak trees, and let's say you've got 4 or 5 red oaks, and one has contracted oak wilt, you do need to act very fast. Basically, what you need to do there is treat all of the trees that have not been infected directly. And then the tree that has been infected directly, you need to dig a trench around it to cut the roots so that tree cannot spread that disease through grafted roots. And then after all that is done, then you remove the tree that's basically been infected with oak wilt. So you've got some serious work to do on that type of stuff, where if you do get oak wilt contracted, whether it be from, an issue with pruning or storm damage, like I was saying, especially if you have a lot of oaks on your property, it can spell absolute disaster, both from a monetary perspective and from just an ecological perspective. You could lose one big tree can have a problem that is caused either by man-made intervention or by, storm damage or whatever it is. And that can amplify itself and turn into the loss of many mature trees that are very valuable to a property. Imagine if you lose 5 oak trees on a property. It is a very different property. Not only is it, harder to live in because you don't have the beauty and the benefits that this tree offers you, but also just from a logistical standpoint, the property value goes down. These trees are very valuable, not only from a day-to-day life perspective, but also they do have monetary value, and sometimes people need to hear that to understand the gravity of the situation. But trees with houses with healthy, mature trees, especially like really large mature oak trees in these types of situations, they sell for up to 15% more on the market. There's been research on this. It's important to have mature trees on a property. It makes a massive difference, not only in that, but, the obvious ecosystem functions. It's taking up carbon and cleaning the air. It's a mature oak tree can take over 50 gallons of water absorbed per day. So when you're looking at flood prevention, having an oak tree in your yard, especially like a pin oak that loves water, or a willow oak or something like that, they're going to be your best line of defense possible,
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, there's just the shade and everything like that. These trees are valuable, and making sure you take care of them properly and invest in them, as the valuable thing that they are, it is important. And
it's very important, no doubt. Listen, we got to get to a break. We're going to take one. We got people waiting in the wings. Linda, Bellevue, you're coming up. Anybody else? 866-391-1020. Oak tree pruning, the topic of conversation. And if you want to get that appointment set up, all you do today is dial this number, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-TREE. That's 412-884-8733. Coming up next hour, it's Accurate Solutions. Then we've got a jam-packed 2-hour edition of the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. My old buddy, the former coach of the University of Pittsburgh, Walt Harris, is going to drop by today. Pitt getting a big win yesterday, and that freshman quarterback, he is the first, Mason Heinzel, the first freshman quarterback in over 30 years to show the throw for over 400 yards in a single game. So that's a big story. We'll talk about that. Also, Jerry Schmidt. Duquesne lost a tough one to Wagner. Jerry Schmidt will be here for his weekly visit. And then we pick our weekly winners against the spread as the Steelers are getting ready for a primetime game tonight at AccuShore Stadium against Green Bay. All of that to come on KDKA with your Pratt Pack. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Lester Botkin, Chief Investment Officer of Botkin Family Wealth Management. After I finished my service in the Marine Corps in 2006, I joined the trainee program of a Wall Street brokerage. I'll admit, those were some of the unhappiest days of my life. The financial crisis was dawning, and I was trying to survive a cutthroat environment that included cold calling on speakerphone in a room of my peers while markets plummeted and my firm raised their fees. After 8 years, Dad, Sarah, and I took a risk. We walked away from the relentless corporate mandates and opened the doors to our family-owned firm where we could put our clients' needs first. Best decision we ever made. Firms turn over all the time. Advisors turn over. We don't. We're headquartered in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. We live here and we work here in the building that we bought together. We take pride in offering personalized, caring service to our clients. It's our family helping your family. Find out more at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Attention Medicaid patients. If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly. This service is available based on Medicaid eligibility. Call 412-960-6205 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 412-960-6205. 412-960-6205 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 412-960-6205. 412-960-6205 or go to freedomcare.com.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
It's Marty Griffin. I have seen so much angst and anger these days that, you know what's overwhelmed me with joy and optimism? This Get Marty. The folks in this community that have stepped up. You can't help your neighbor if you hate your neighbor. Get Marty epitomizes that opportunity to help people, feed people, clothe people, educate people. If you need me, get Marty at kdkradio.com.
Get Marty is presented by Phil DeLuceni and Associates, Levin Furniture, UPMC Health System, CNS Construction, John Keefe Restaurant Group of Oakmont, and by Robert Pierce and Associates. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 39 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A man is in the hospital this morning after he fell from the main scoreboard at Acrisure Stadium. It happened just before 10 o'clock Saturday night. The man fell 50 feet down to a catwalk area. He suffered severe injuries to his lower body. He, as mentioned, is in critical condition at a local hospital. A toddler is in the hospital after being hit by a vehicle. This happened Saturday night in Homewood around 9 p.m. on Monticello Street. Police say the boy is in serious but stable condition at the hospital. It's unclear if charges will be filed against the driver. KDKA Radio News Time is 9:31. Next update's at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio KDKA.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Vitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Vitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your free consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
Have a house you're ready to sell? Ryan Shalaba here with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. Over a decade in business and 175 plus 5-star reviews, we've helped people in all different situations get the most money out of their house when they need it. We'll save you time, money, and stress, and we'll even help you move. Call 412-500-9057. We'll get you a cash offer in as little as 24 hours. That's 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com today.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Look for sunshine today with a few clouds at times and a high of 58. Then a clear sky for much of the time tonight and a low of 37 leads to a generally nice day for tomorrow with sunshine, a few clouds once again, and a high again reaching 58, leading to a cooler Tuesday but still featuring sunshine, high 55. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, back with our certified arborist from Greater Pitt Tree Service. He works with our buddy Carlos, of course. He's Troy Lampenfeld. The phones are very busy today. We're talking about oak tree pruning. It's that time of year, but if you have anything in the way of trees on your mind, give any question about trees, give us a call, 866-391-1020. And again, if you want to call them directly to set up an appointment, you can actually do that today, right now as we speak. Leave your first and last name and a working number that they can reach you throughout the week during business hours, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Here's Linda in Bellevue. Hey, Linda, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate this. I have tree roots interfering with my driveway. How can I cut these roots down without killing the tree? And it's a silver maple.
Well, that's a complicated one. That's something where it does depend how close the tree is to the driveway, and it does kind of depend on how you do it here. So before we get into it, I do want to ask, how big is the tree and how close is it to the driveway?
Oh, probably about 4 or 5 feet away from the driveway, and it's very high.
Okay, 4 or 5 feet away from the driveway. Depending on, the specifics of it, we'd have to come out there and check it out. But there are options for this type of stuff where if it is far enough away and it's a reasonable position where they're not structurally important roots, you can basically dig a trench next to the driveway with what's called an air spade. So really highly compressed air, the same thing we would use for a root collar excavation. You can trench out there, and then if it is causing severe interference with the driveway or with whatever it is, you can make clean cuts on some of those roots and try to direct it in different ways to make it so that it's not quite as much of an interference. But a lot of the time you do have to be very careful about that, because cutting roots can be very, very detrimental to a tree. So if we were going to do that, I'd definitely have to come out there and check it out to see if it's useful to do that. And if we were going to do that and make any kind of cuts on the roots, what you need to do for root pruning and root surgery basically is put a plant growth regulator on the tree to make it so that the tree has more available energy to dedicate to root growth in the future in different directions after you've done the corrective pruning and put a root barrier in that area between there and the driveway, basically around 2 to 3 feet down into the soil, where at that point you won't have any more tree roots basically below there that are causing you any kind of issues. You would just put straight, sometimes a plastic barrier people will do as a root barrier to make it so that it grows away from that area in the future. So there's some options, but we do have to get a little bit more specific on what this job would look like, what the property looks like. So if you call us out there, I can try to get you some solutions and see if that'll make sense. Outside of that, if it does look like cutting those roots is going to kill the tree, then it's more of a position where you would have to focus on removal, unfortunately, if you are really dedicated to, keeping the driveway that way, or potentially redesigning the driveway, whatever it is. But we definitely have some options. I would say having somebody out there directly is going to be the best way to figure that out, though.
What about trees that are now lifting up sidewalks? Is that in the same situation?
It's a lot of the time in a similar situation, but those trees are oftentimes planted either as city trees or close enough to the sidewalk where if you were going to cut the roots to that tree, you would be causing serious, serious damage. And a lot of those city trees are in very small areas for the roots. Like you'll see a tree that's 60, 70 foot tall at least in the city that has maybe 5 by 4 foot of root space, which is just not enough for that large of a tree. So cutting any of those roots to begin with is an absolute death sentence for the tree in a lot of ways. So that type of stuff, it becomes a little bit more complicated because it gets onto the city side of things, onto the municipal side of things, where you do want to maintain mature shade trees in the city. It's extremely important to do that. But sometimes our selection of species isn't as proper as it should be. So we'll have a big tree where a big tree shouldn't be. And that's something that we have to do better in the future. But it doesn't mean that we should be cutting down those trees because they're lifting the sidewalk up. They do offer so much value to the city that there is probably in every case, I would say, a better option to either extend the area that the tree has to grow the roots or change the way that the sidewalk works around it. There's a lot of different options, but cutting roots that close to the trunk, if you're within a certain area, depending on the size of the tree, you're really going to cause some serious issues that'll end up costing more money and that will lose you the tree in the long run.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Linda.
Of course, Linda.
We appreciate the call, and believe me, this is all about the city, and no one knows this region better than Carlos and Troy and the folks at the Greater Pitt Tree Service. So pick up the phone, give them a call, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Oak tree pruning, the main topic, but anything on your mind in the way of trees. But we've had a very busy hour, and there's still a segment and a half to go. So if there's anybody else out there that has a question, now would be the time to give us a call. You know, the last time that Carlos was with us last week, we were talking a little bit about this, and I said I recently went to my son's house, who's about your age, and he's got these 3 massive oak trees in the back of his yard, and I know the landscape because I grew up, spending time with my aunt and uncle just around the bend, and of course I lived in that community for a long time, and I never realized how big those trees were. And you were talking about the city, some of the great places like Squirrel Hill and others, that these trees, Troy, have been around for 100 years. They are massive. So disease is one thing, but as I know that we're heading towards winter, heavy snowfalls, high winds, more than anything, the reason you want Greater Pitt Tree Service to come out is the risk factor, because if one of these behemoth oak trees fall on your house, it's roof time, it's window time, it's structure time. So if not for anything else, if you have these massive oak trees and you haven't had anybody look at them or prune them in recent times, now's the time to get it done, because it may cost you a little, but it's going to cost you a whole lot more if those trees come tumbling down.
And that's the truth, Robin. I mean, making sure that you prune these trees properly can be the difference between a tree that is so well adapted that it can manage storms like that one that we saw in April, and heavy ice and windstorms through the winter. And poor pruning can lead you to a position where the tree is actually weaker than it would be without any kind of management. So making sure that you get it done right is not only the difference between spending money to get a good job done to prevent what would naturally happen. It's also avoiding spending money to make yourself at worse risk. If you're hiring somebody that doesn't know what they're doing on this type of stuff, you are really putting yourself in a worse position than you started out in. Because if they're pruning this tree and they're lion-tailing it and, causing a bunch of different issues with the structure of the tree, and they don't really know what they're cutting, they can make it way more likely that this tree is going to fail, that it's going to cause you property and structural damage to your home, or potentially cause you, some serious damage to yourself, God forbid. But when you're looking at this type of stuff, a mature tree with a proper pruning management plan, where we're taking out dead and diseased limbs with poor attachment, and then reducing tip weight from the outsides of the tree and doing everything properly, according to the standards, according to all the research that's been done in the past 30, 40 years on tree maintenance and arboriculture and all these different things. When we're doing that, we're really trying to make sure that these trees are in it for the long haul. So having
pruning done well on your tree can be the difference between having a tree another 50 or 60 years or potentially losing that tree within a season or two. So it seems like it's a small decision because it's a yearly maintenance type of thing or every 5 or 6 year maintenance type of thing. But oftentimes it's a very impactful decision on the long term as in regards to what happens to the tree overall. So making sure that they're maintained properly can not be of any more importance, honestly. It's very important to me.
Well, and here's the other thing. They take a long time to get as high as they do, and the beautiful umbrella-like leaves and how they just drape your backyard for shade and, sunlight and all the things that you want them to do. But aesthetically, that's why you have them. That's why you plant them. So to remove one of them, let's face it, the majority of us, my age for sure, are not going to be around long enough to enjoy their beauty. So my thought process as we get ready to go to break is to tell folks about the plant tree health care that you have and how you guys can come out on a regular basis throughout the calendar year, and you can stay ahead of this stuff so you can get all the beauty that you want and deserve, but more importantly, you know where you stand every couple of months. So in my opinion, that would be the smartest thing for anybody to do when it comes to these things that they love so much in their backyard and front yard.
It's true. It's very valuable to have somebody out there checking those trees out, who knows what they're doing, not only to get you a proper pruning plan, but also if there are signs of oak wilt on a white oak early, catching that can be the difference between losing the tree and keeping it. And like you said, Rob, these trees are big and pretty old, and honestly, if you were to plant an oak tree right now, I probably won't live to see it in maturity. It's a very tricky thing where you cannot plant that. You cannot get that back if you lose one of those really, really mature trees. It takes up to 75 years for an oak tree to hit full maturity in a serious way. So, when you're doing this, having us out there, whether it be on a plant health care program where we can come out and inspect your trees, get them a custom fertilization plan, do insect and disease prevention, on mature trees and on smaller trees and shrubs around the property, just while we're there, get everything really working fine-tuned together. That type of stuff makes it so that overall maintenance keeps you those trees in the long term. It makes it a lot more valuable for the property. It makes it so that you don't have to worry nearly as much when it comes to safety, because somebody who does this every day is out there checking these trees out and can give you a strong opinion on them. When I'm out there, if it's me personally, which oftentimes it would be, I can definitely keep the homeowner informed to make sure that those trees are safe, they're healthy, and they're offering you the value that they should be in the position that they are.
All right, good stuff. We'll come back. I got a couple of more things for Troy, and if you have a question or two, Troy from Greater Pitt Tree Service, give us a call. Number is 866-391-1020. One more segment, then we get ready for the news at 10. It's 412-884-TREE, their number, 412-884-8733. Greater Pitt Tree Service. Always enjoy our time with our certified arborist, Troy. Coming back with Mr. Lampenfeld in just a couple of moments on KDKA.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey, construction pros, your team at Foundation Software is here. What's something you never want to be told? You're over budget. Get your projects back on track with Foundation Construction Accounting Software. For more than 40 years, contractors have chosen Foundation to improve job costing, reporting, payroll, and more with one complete platform. Don't let overruns ruin your bottom line. Visit FoundationSoft.com. That's FoundationSoft.com. FoundationSoft.com.
Bill Hillgrove here. If you're retired or helping a parent plan for retirement, it's time to talk about a reverse mortgage from Federated Reverse Mortgage. I went through it myself, and I get it. The idea can feel confusing, but here's the truth. With reverse mortgage, homeowners 62 or older can access the equity in their home tax-free to improve cash flow, pay off debt, or just enjoy life more comfortably. And no, you don't lose your home, you stay in it. I trusted Craig Schweiger and his team at Federated. Craig's been guiding Pittsburgh families for over 35 years, and they treat you and your loved ones with care, clarity, and respect. Whether you're planning for your own retirement or helping mom or dad understand their options, this is a conversation worth having. Call 833-888-0801 or visit fedreverse.com to schedule your free consultation. That's what I did. Equal housing lender. Reverse mortgages are subject to eligibility.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is certified elder law attorney Julian Gray, and I've been helping Pittsburghers for 30 years navigating the legal issues surrounding aging. Get ready for your retirement years and what lies ahead with a no-obligation consultation. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, just a couple more minutes with Troy Lampenfeld, certified arborist, works with our buddy Carlos at Greater Pitt Tree Service. Again, their number 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. You can tell this guy gets more calls than me and Carlos, so he's the brains of the outfit. We had a great show today, lots of good calls, basically on the same topic. But I wanted to give you folks a chance here in the final segment. We just have a handful of minutes. If there's anything else on your mind in the way of trees, feel free to give us a call. Now, in the weeks and months to come as we roll through the year and head into next year, just some things to think about. So here we are, Troy, we're a couple of weeks away before the snow starts to fly, and obviously we need to get you out there to do what you do. But how can you actually protect your trees from snow and ice moving forward? Give me some of your thoughts on that. Go ahead.
So there's a couple of different things. From pruning, obviously, is one way, cutting out smaller limbs on the edges that have a lot of leverage at the end of the tips of branches. If you know anything about physics, the length of a lever arm is what determines how much torque can be placed on something, right? So a small amount of weight very far out on a lever arm can be extremely impactful on the weight. So reducing a little bit of that tip weight can be really important on pruning. But when you're looking at something like stabilizing a union on a tree that's a little bit, shall we say, less than ideal. You know, if you have a union on a tree and I come out there to check this tree out, and that union looks a little bit unstable, we can do something, basically cabling the tree. Cabling and support systems can be very valuable for preventing failure under normal conditions for a tree, whether it be a dynamic cable or a static cable. There's two different types, and they have a little bit different functions, why we would use them in different cases. But cabling a tree can be pretty valuable for that, too, on damage prevention, and it also holds the tree together. So even if it's not a direct risk to something, it can definitely help the tree out in terms of preserving the larger structure of the tree and preventing big storm damage. So we have a lot of different options. You know, we're full service in a very true sense, where when it comes from, you know, whether it's removal of trees and pruning of trees, or doing support systems and cabling to try to optimize the structural stability of the tree, to doing plant health care work, to doing soil work, where we come out and on these big oak trees, it's extremely valuable to get root collar excavations and double check basically the critical root zone right around the base of the tree, about 6 to 8 feet out from the base of that tree, decompacting that soil and getting the tree effectively a better place to live. A lot of people in the industry will kind of call that, or will liken it to repotting a tree. So if you think of a tree like a really big house plant, it's basically like repotting the tree, giving it a little bit of space for the roots to grow into, you know, soil that is loose and fertile and basically well-to-do for the tree. So there's a ton of different options. The best thing you can do in terms of tree care preventatively to make sure that your trees are in good shape is make sure that they are healthy and make sure that you have somebody out there to check them out for structural stability. So if you were to give us a call and have me out to the property, we can either get you an estimate for work, we can get you a risk assessment, an official risk assessment, as I'm tree risk assessment qualified through International Society of Arboriculture, or we can help you get a plan set up to take care of the health of the trees in the long term. So whatever your needs are, we've got you covered. Give us a call and get us out there. I appreciate it.
Listen, I got to tell you, I envy you being out amongst the fresh air every day with your incredibly hardworking crew. And I know Carlos is investing in local communities, buying lunch for the crew. He's known people his whole life growing up in Greenfield, and you're a part of Western Pennsylvania. But you got to admit, even though the leaves are falling and these trees are going dormant, and you have to do the rake thing, cleaning up all the leaves, this is a magical time in Western Pennsylvania. I got about a minute, but being that you're out there and you're with nature every day, being a certified arborist, this must be a very special time, especially for you, so up close and personal, Troy.
It's a beautiful time. This is, I love my job actually a lot, a way that I think is very rare among young people and very rare in general. I enjoy every single day that I go to work. I have, I got the best office in the world. I go out and I look at trees all day. I couldn't complain if I tried to.
Listen,
it's a beautiful time, and I appreciate every moment of it.
Well, we appreciate you. You did a fantastic job today. Lots of good input, and I know a lot of people are going to be following up and making a call and setting up an appointment, and they're going to have a chance to meet you in person. We'll do it again real soon. Thank you, Troy.
Thank you, Rob. You have a good day.
All right, Troy Lampenfeld, man, I tell you, he's my son Robbie's age. It's amazing. They're like separated from birth. They're so highly intelligent. My son's in cybersecurity. He's doing what he's doing. I got to tell you, the future is bright, especially with Greater Pitt Tree Service and a young man like Troy Lampenfeld and his boss, a good guy, Carlos. All right, again, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. I'm going to get like a brief hour to breathe and get something to eat, and then we're going to ramp it up. You don't want to miss today's edition of the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. Two of the finest. We've got former Pitt coach Walt Harris, my longtime friend, and Jerry Schmidt of the Duquesne Dukes, all still to come, KDKA.
The proceeding was paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Heard us talk about downtown regenerating, business, attracting, expansion. Founding partner and CEO, Walnut Capital, Todd Reardboard.
As we all know, the whole AI revolution that's encompassing the country and the world is accelerated pace, and we need to keep pace with that to be competitive with everybody. And we're optimistic about the future.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Fantastic fall savings continue at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. 80% lean fresh ground beef, $3.99 a pound. Little Leaf Farms leaf lettuce, 4-ounce packages, $2.99 each. And selected varieties of Value Pack Lance crackers, 20-count packages, $4.99 each. Additional savings in our meat department. Eckrich smoked sausage or Polska kibasi, 39 to 42-ounce packages, $8.88 each. And boneless, skinless, fresh salmon side cuts are $5.49 a pound. In the produce department, selected varieties of Eastern apples, 3-pound bags, 2 for $5. And Haas variety avocados are 77 cents each. In our deli department, Sugardale Virginia Classic Ham is $6.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Kraft chunk or shredded cheese, 7 to 8-ounce packages, 2 for $5.
So get in as those fantastic fall savings continue at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Get ready to roll. Bocce House of Pittsburgh officially open and all month long. It's open play. That means free play on the bocce courts. Come experience Pittsburgh's newest social destination, featuring memberships, a luxury cigar lounge, and league play for all skill levels. So grab some friends, enjoy delicious food, and pour yourself a drink at our self-pour bar system. The Bocce House of Pittsburgh, where good food, great drinks, and even better company meet on the court. So visit theboccehouse.com for all the details.
At the Pyatt family of companies, they're led by a passionate vision for the vibrant future that Pittsburgh deserves. From South Point to downtown to Esplanade, they bring bold, ambitious projects to life. That's why Pyatt Companies, Pyatt Sotheby's International Realty, Pyatt Hotel Group, and UFC Gym Pittsburgh proudly congratulate CEO Lucas Pyatt on receiving the Hometown Heroes Lifetime Achievement Visionary Award for his years of leadership. Learn more at Pyatt.com.
What does living your best nonstop life mean to you? Cheering on your team at that big game? A music festival with friends? A family vacation? Or maybe a vacation from your family? Live your best nonstop life with low fares and nonstop flights only at Allegiant.com.
Non-stop flights from Pittsburgh to Sarasota Bradenton, one way for as low as $57. Must be purchased by 12/3/2025 for travel between 10/28/2025 and 5/17/2026. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 39 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 10 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A man is in the hospital after he fell from the main scoreboard at Acrisure Stadium 50 feet down to a catwalk area. This happened Saturday night just before 10 o'clock. The man suffered severe injuries to his lower body. Right now he's in critical condition at a hospital. A toddler is in the hospital after being hit by a vehicle Saturday night in Homewood. It happened around 9 p.m. on Monticello Street. Police say the boy is in serious but stable condition at the hospital. Right now it's unclear if charges will be filed against the driver. Also in Homewood, Pittsburgh police investigating after a man was found shot Saturday night along Ottawa Street. It happened around 8:45 p.m. Police say he was shot in the buttocks on Ottawa Street. The suspect ran away on foot, according to police. A man who was shot was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition. One person is dead, at least 6 others injured during a shooting during a homecoming celebration at Lincoln University. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Ray Strickland is at the school and has more details.
Law enforcement officials tell us there were a number of people here at Lincoln University last night for the school's homecoming before this shooting turned this celebratory day into a tragic one. Police say started just after 9 p.m. near the school's football field. A number of people were here gathered in the area for the school's tailgate.
Authorities have detained one person. They're also looking into whether there was another shooter. Well, Pittsburgh International Airport held its second public trial run for its new terminal. It happened Saturday afternoon. The trial run included about 2,000 people who simulated common airport situations like going through the TSA checkpoints, using wheelchair accommodations, other simulators for how passengers will use the new airport. It's all part of the airport's goal to give passengers a smoother flying process. Still no word, though, on when that new $1.6